It's the old man's podcast club. We're drinking and thinking it all over. We'll talk and we'll talk some more and have a wonderful time. It's the old man's podcast club. It's the old man's podcast club.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Old Man's Podcast Club, the number one fortnightly nonsensical podcast hosted around a plastic garden table in a secret underground bunker. I am your host, Miles Page, and tonight I'm joined by the bald-faced wonder, but his head hair looks lovely. It's Ryan Mordew.
I like the fact that you're not discriminating the fact that I haven't got a beard. I feel lonely. My face isn't covered.
And due to a recent outbreak, terrible outbreak of the sniffles, George Williams cannot join us tonight. But no worry, we'll be okay. Because to celebrate our 5th episode bonanza, the big 05, the milestone of them all, we have a very, very special guest with us. The immeasurably tall and beautifully bearded. Welcome to the podcast, Ben Wilkins.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh,
Pleasure to be here.
oh, yeah.
Glad you could join us.
One beard and one non-bearded face, but, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, if you get a microscope out, I've got a beard.
It's somewhere.
But George doesn't have a beard as well, does he? Or has he since I last saw him?
He's stubbly, isn't he? He's kind
Stubbly,
of...
okay,
It's dark haired.
Yeah. Being dark-haired, it
Emphasises the look of the stubble.
It really
a lot
does,
more.
yeah.
Accentuates the visuals.
like he could not shave for one day and he's just got a hench shadow. It's very... it's the wonders of being a dark-haired man. It's wonderful.
It's like a blessing and a curse because, like, if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to shave every day, and you probably wouldn't be able to notice on a 2-day cycle.
Shaving's annoying, man. Even like with a beard, you have to do the neckline and the cheek line, is it? Would you call it a cheek line?
Yeah. And then you don't want it creeping into your food.
No.
You don't want to share your food with your beard because, like, gravy in a beard.
Well, sharing is caring. Save it for later. Stash it a bit up there, you know? No? I just thought beards were like a
Honestly,
secret
mate.
compartment
Trying
of
to
the
get-
face.
Well, yeah, for dry objects. If you lose a crisp in there, happy days. You can have that later. If
You
lose-
don't want to lose a spaghetti loop.
or a sausage.
Well, that's one thing to losing your beard.
Right, let's crack open an ice cold case of conversation. Beers this week provided by Ryan. And what have you got for us?
Yeah, so let me just grab the beers out, and I'll give you a nice little explanation of what I've got for you tonight.
Ooh.
Grab yourself one of these.
Lovely, thank you. Hot damn. It's an orange can.
Yeah, I've got to say, the can looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
So I wasn't going to get these beers this week. I had other plans. I had a plan of where to buy the beers from. I was quite set on it, and I was ready to make the journey. And we just happened to be shopping in Aldi at the weekend, and I spotted these. And can you really turn down anything that has limited edition written at the top of the can?
It's a good sound.
You know, it's kind of like that's a perfect beer for a podcast with beer. Because how do you know if you're going to be able to get these in 2 weeks' time?
It says it 3 times.
Exactly. I think it's pretty adamant that it's limited edition.
And in this room, it says it 9 times.
Exactly.
Quick maths.
Oh, I have another one actually down here. So
That's
in
like
the room, it's like
11
18
times.
Yeah.
Do we go for the same joke?
So they're from a place called the Small Batch Brewery. So I guess they specialize in limited edition beers. They only brew them in small batches and then distribute them to Aldi's. I don't know. I'm not sure. It doesn't really have a name per se. So you can see it's called the Hop Foundry Underground Ales. And then the name of it pretty much is Orange Infused Pale Ale. So they're not very adventurous with the name. It's 4.2%, so I think it's going to be quite pleasant. Should we do the honours?
Ooh, just reading the label. it's got orange peel. Obviously, that's the infusion bit, but coriander.
Yeah, I thought that was
Holy
quite
shit.
interesting
That's
as well.
interesting, that.
I hope.
Wow.
The sort of design of the can's pretty cool as well. Like, there's
Yeah,
a guy sort of forging some hops on a, what do you call that? Anvil, is
Yeah.
it?
The Amble, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought they
That's
looked
pretty cool.
interesting, and it's like we were saying a couple of weeks ago. The beers from these cheaper supermarkets, they look the part now.
Yeah.
They don't look like cheap.
They taste
crap.
good as well. Ciders from Aldi, especially their like fruity flavoured ones. I think they got some like Swedish thing in there, and that's real good.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a Copperberg.
Copperberg, yes.
All,
yeah.
all I'm hoping is that you both like coriander.
Cheers. Oh,
Good.
ching. You have to do a ching sound. You have to make
Yeah,
it with
ching.
your mouth.
Chink.
Well, that is quite zesty. So I don't know whether you guys know this, but the ability to enjoy the taste of coriander is genetic.
So some people can't taste it.
No, so some people don't like it.
Oh right, okay.
Like it to them, it's a horrible taste.
I'm one of them.
You don't like
What do you make of
coriander?
this then?
Like because I quite like this, but I wouldn't. I don't think it's a
No,
prominent flavour.
No, it's
Yeah,
not. I
I'm
think it's
not
predominantly
really
the oranges that
picking
are
up the hint
sticking
of
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you put that on a curry, which is obviously like a really popular ingredient for a curry, I haven't had it in so long because I just hated it. I kind of felt like it tasted artificial, a bit like plasticky.
So more a texture thing for you then?
No,
Oh, okay.
just
All right.
I think even if you weren't going to eat it though, I think you need a bit of greenery on the plate. You know what I mean? Bit of something just to
Like you should
contrast
throw
the
in a
colour.
bay leaf
So yeah,
or
just
something.
well, yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
bay
even
leaf.
worse. If you don't like coriander, you don't want to be munching on a bay leaf.
I want a piece of mint on the top that I can literally just take and throw. You know, like you know when you put it on ice cream.
Yeah, like what's the point?
yeah.
I know it looks pretty, but you've just
Yeah.
wasted mint.
Yeah,
Who's eating mint on ice cream?
even if
Fine.
you've got mint ice cream, you're going to eat a leaf.
Yeah, like are you actually meant to, or is it literally just there to
But you
throw?
can
throw
eat
to
it
the
if you
side?
want. Like,
Is it just
it
like
is
one of those
edible.
things? Yeah, but
I don't think I've always taken it quite I've taken it to be an offence.
if there's mint,
I've ordered a sweet while you're putting a herb on my plate.
get your Herbie business out of here.
I've got the first topic of the evening.
whoa.
Oh, shit. Would you-
yeah, are we meant to be talking about this beer a little bit more?
Well,
My apologies.
we've got to give it a rating.
We've got to give it a rating.
So I'm gonna throw it straight over to our guest of the evening.
So the rating system is not 1 to 4. What is it? 1 to 5?
It's what
I mean, I've
1 to
listened to the
10.
podcast, so I should know. So 1 to 10, that's quite a broad
It's 1 to
range.
10, and we've somehow managed to fall into the decimal place system as well.
yeah,
Okay.
the smallest
You're not going to say like the lowest rated is the highest.
Yeah, if you give it a
What
1,
was
it's
the
a
best?
really good beer. No,
it's
no.
a weird scale, so like no. Yeah, we've had 2 decimal places so far. We've had
Yeah.
a 0.75, so you can go
Okay.
3 if you want. It's
What, to 3 decimal places, are you saying?
a 753 or something if you want. Right,
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
That's your call.
Well, I'm not really getting the coriander, and the orange is very subtle, I'd say. From the orange can and all that kind of stuff, and the fiery look of it, I was expecting a bit more orange. So for that reason, I put it probably maybe around about a 6, maybe, because it's kind of, I'd say, I quite like a smooth beer, and although this isn't like really kind of sharp or anything, it's kind of a bit more on the bubbly kind of
Yeah,
texture.
I get
sort
your
of vibe.
feeling. It's got like a peculiar taste that doesn't really stand out either. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, I think they should have gone to town a bit more on this is
orange,
orange infused.
yeah.
Because if you hadn't have seen the can, I think you'd probably question. You wouldn't really be like, "Wow, has this got a hint of orange in?" I don't think.
Yeah.
Do you, do
I
you get me, or am I
Yeah.
just like not really
Yeah.
tasting it that much?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you, Miles? You gonna throw out a rating?
I'm in the same ballpark, probably like a 6.5. I think it's very
Okay.
pleasant, but I'd pretty much echo everything Ben's just said. Yeah, it's pleasant. I don't know. I don't know if there was too much more of a kick of orange, you'd just want orange juice.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, give me a
that is a risk.
Fanta or something.
Yeah. Or you drink this out of a glass and go, "Oh, this orange juice has gone a bit funny." You know,
Yeah.
but I think it's pleasant. You know, I could drink a few of these. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I'll go
That's nice.
6.5. Yeah. Ryan?
I mean, for me, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I probably won't pick another one up. I don't care if it's limited edition or not. I'm not going to run to the shop and get more. You know, it's probably a solid 5 for me.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's nowhere up near my favourite beers. But,
No, okay.
but it's all right. It's not in like the 1s or 2s or anything. It's not disgusting.
No, okay. Good stuff.
Okay, now we can head on over to our first topic. What have you got for us, Miles?
The first topic, it's a very now it's polarizing, quite upsetting, quite a sensitive topic.
Right.
So look, I mean, just between the three of us, I don't want to offend anyone, but I need to ask a question. And the question is, what's your method of wee-weeing? Because
I use my penis.
okay, do you do that as well, Ben?
Most of the times, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now, my main question is that a bunch of model boxers, types of boxers that you can get, they elasticated waist generally, and they also have like your little gateway. You know, like some of them are buttons, some of them have got like
a multi-layer of fabric thing going on. It's like a little maze down there.
a little maze down there.
Not all boxes have that though.
No.
Yeah, the maze is there, but the entrances are sewn up.
Yes. Yeah, that's like part of the pattern. Now, my question is, and I've worded it the way that I want to word it, is do you go pull your boxers down and go over the fence, or do you go through the cockhole in your boxers and through the garden gate?
Well, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite a bold question. People are going to know straight away what they would do themselves. But I'm an over-the-fence kind of person.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm straight in over the fence as well.
Yeah.
No time. Like usually when I need a wee, I need a bloody wee. I haven't got any time for this.
And
Through the gate business.
Yeah,
Pieces of fabric, get out the way. Like no, just just fuck it, flop it out, get
you've
a
got to
piss
spend
going.
a lot of time kind of trying to navigate that highway to be getting that out. Just jump over the fence.
It's risky business. Like if you really need to go and you've got to navigate that, you could just end up in a bad situation.
Yeah. God knows what's
Your
happening.
penis has got to go around a bend of that fabric.
Yeah.
Unless you've got direct like fly boxes that you can open. But then again, it gets back to this whole thing. Generally, you're not going for you're not in a hurry to urinate.
Yeah. You don't go to the toilet to be like, oh, maybe I need a wee. I'm just going to stand here for 5 minutes just in case.
Just to wait.
Yeah.
It's usually I need it. I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right. I'm the same. It's entirely logical. Personally, I think they should just stick to it being a design. I think having the slot to get your little guy out unnecessary.
I'm going to sound a bit like a housewife now. I don't want to come across sexist, but that's a term. It takes forever to dry that area of the boxers when you've washed them because there's so much fabric.
Doesn't need to be.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
It's like they're adding in extra protection, but let me tell you this: if you're fighting a wolf and the wolf tries to...
I can't go for that area. It's got 3 layers of clothing.
It's too much fabric.
Everybody knows that 2 layers of cotton is equivalent to 1 layer of Kevlar.
If you weave it right.
Well, I'm glad we've got through that. It's good to know. The next important topic that I want to talk about is, have you seen the video of the gymnast performing... do you know the video I'm on about?
I don't, but I can sort of guess that it's not going to be very nice. And it's going to involve some sort of floppy limbs.
Well, it made me feel sick.
Did it? Well...
Like, sick to the stomach.
Tell us what it is, Ryan.
Okay.
I feel sick now just thinking about it.
Is it this kind of thing where, like, if you see it, you feel like you can't walk for a couple of days?
Yeah,
just 'cause
no,
it's
it
like,
does.
You might do the same thing.
Yeah, it kind of makes me want to grab hold on my knees and check they're all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a woman, a young woman on the tumble mat, essentially doing flips and stuff, and she does like, is it one forward flip and then like a handstandy flip, and then another forward flip, and she goes to land on her legs,
Oh dear.
and she must have just come down a little bit too hard, and
So
It doesn't look like a break to me. It basically looks like she's dislocated both her knees.
Oh, at the same time. Oh,
Yeah,
crikey.
like
So does she,
literally both
literally
of them.
flop to the floor.
So she's kind of landed like flat-footed on both legs, and it's happened to both legs at the same time. And then obviously you can't stand if you've got broken legs, so she just kind of falls over and kind of grabs her legs in pain and just starts crying, and no one knows what to do, so they're all just kind of like standing there looking at each other, and then they start crowding around her, and it's like can't really pick you up to walk you off, what do we do? And then the video ends.
it's kind of like her legs and her shins went backwards from the landing, but her body and thighs went forward.
I definitely don't want to see it. You know,
No, I watched it through my fingers. It was horrible.
It's not pretty. It's one of those things that it's like, I'm gonna watch this, but then the moment you start the video, it's like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. Oh my god, it's happened! I've watched it. I feel sick.
I had to watch it even if it was clickbait and nothing happened. I had to find out.
I feel for her. Apparently, she has retired now.
Oh, God.
Like
Bless her.
straight out. Like that's it for her.
Yeah, I think you probably, even if you did recover and somehow your body wasn't just going to completely reject you doing gymnastics, you'd probably kind of be a bit psychologically scarred that you'd land like that again.
I mean,
You just wouldn't have confidence ever.
No.
have you heard of Billy Monger?
No.
Oh, so this is relevant based on leg injuries.
Yeah.
He was a Formula 3 racer.
Formula 3 racer, yeah.
And he young lad, and he basically ended up in this horrific crash where they were racing first few laps and again full out on a circuit in the UK, and a car ahead had stopped, like mechanical failure, broke down, and he didn't see it because of the cars ahead. A car moved out the way, and he just went full speed into the back of it.
Yeah.
And it's so
Like 180 miles an hour into the back of another car. It's
Do they use a similar sort of car in Formula 3?
Yeah,
Or is it like slightly different kind
slightly
of?
smaller, isn't it?
yeah, it's just a more simplistic Formula One looking car. So it's got like the front wing and the rear wing and kind of.
Does it have this kind of? Because I sort of hadn't seen any Formula 1 for a couple of years until like last year, and then I've seen it, and then they've got this like new kind of bar across what
the
I would
old,
call the eye line.
flip flop?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Flip flop. That's a cool way of actually describing it. Yeah. Does it have that safety feature? or-
No, this didn't.
They didn't at that time, but it does now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
That's quite interesting.
They only come in like the past 2 years, and this accident was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
What happened then?
He
So his
woke
legs-
up.
Yeah.
He blacked out, didn't he? Basically.
Yeah,
And he got air ambulance, ended up in hospital, and basically they've amputated one above the knee, one below. So he's lost. But fair play to him, because like he woke up and he was like, "When are we going to get back in the car then?" And we went to Donington last year, which is the circuit where the race happened, and it was like his second race.
No way. That's wicked.
So the car that he crashed into, they basically said, we're going to adapt a car that has no pedals, you can drive it all with your hands, and like you're going to get a race career. And like the geezer's flying. Like he's
He was one of the fastest on the grid easily, considering it only just returned as well. So not only did he have no legs, he was rusty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Learning
he
how to drive.
podiumed
Yep.
that weekend. So he's basically learning again, and he's already top 3.
Incredible geezer.
But that's kind of crazy because I don't know, like gear changes in Formula 1 and stuff, that's all like on the steering wheel anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in terms of like, do they have clutches? I literally don't really know much about racing
Clutch
cars.
is a button on the steering wheel.
So like the only main difference would be in terms of driving would be the acceleration, yeah?
Yeah, accelerator and brake. They only have 2
Oh yeah,
pedals.
okay, cool.
But yeah, still an extra 2. Have you seen those steering wheels?
Yeah.
Like the amount of buttons
they're
on
like-
those steering wheels.
Take up all the space.
Like to have another 2 buttons on that. But yeah, that was one of his problems, wasn't it? Because at that weekend he kept locking the brakes.
Yeah.
But it's just because he wasn't used to obviously not using his legs to brake.
I think like, I mean, we all drive, like you really feel your way through the accelerator and the brake, don't you, with a car?
Yeah,
Like it becomes an instinctual thing, so it must be.
Yeah, to then like going from like feeling the pressure on the brake and like, you know, the sort of, I suppose you kind of feel you don't really feel pressure through the accelerator, do you? But you kind of like, you feel a bit like, oh, I'm pushing it down, I'm going faster.
Yeah.
Like with the buttons, that must be quite a different sensation to get used to.
Yeah. It's probably like a pedal, but on the steering wheel.
It must be, yeah. It can't just be
It's not
It's
just
got to
on,
be pressure
off.
based.
like a PlayStation controller.
Just X.
Yeah. We've got rid of the steering wheel. We've just give you a PS3 controller. Don't worry, it's got rumble.
And recharge batteries.
No, that's wicked though. Like, fair play to him to
Yeah.
come through that and be like, he's not going to let that stop him or bother
He's
him.
doing really well for himself because he's a pundit now
Yeah.
for Formula One.
Yeah, Channel 4.
wicked.
Channel
Yeah.
4's pundit. So
Is Channel 4 showing Formula 1?
Yeah.
Highlights.
I thought Sky got it.
Highlights only.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bit of point for the UK.
I only know that because my dad was really angry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, oh,
I'm really
can't
angry
watch
as
it
well.
on TV.
Maybe we
'cause
could
no
have
Sky.
Kev on the podcast to discuss his anger
Well,
at some point.
we'll have that as an extra episode, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be the Patreon episode. I like that. Yeah, premium content.
Formula One
Always.
anger. Get it here. Get it now.
I mean, speaking of Formula One, we've had the second race of the season.
We have.
We have. Did you watch it, Ben?
Can't say I did. Yeah, sorry. My F1 knowledge is, very patchy.
All right, well, we need to just breeze over this quickly because it's the best race I've ever seen.
It's the best
personally.
race I've ever seen.
How
Yeah.
come? What happened?
Everything.
Tell me what happened.
Everything
Just-
happened. Like, there was more overtaken than I've seen in the time that I've been watching Formula
That's a
One.
good thing because whenever I do see it, when it's just a dry race and everyone's just like in the same position, it's like, what's going on? Boring.
Everyone plays it safe.
Yeah,
None of
so
that.
overtaking makes it a lot more
Really
fruity.
exciting. Really
Yeah,
exciting.
so I was watching it on my mum's on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I even caught Beth watching it. She is not usually a watcher, but even she was like sitting forward on a seat, like, "Oh my god, what's going to happen?"
Mate, it was so good. So Ferrari, they've got Sebastian Vettel, who is golden boy. Like, and they want him to win the world championship. And it's always been whoever drives in the team with Ferrari is not officially, but very much obviously the second driver. You play second fiddle. Like, if Vettel wants to do something, then you're second priority.
Yeah.
So this geezer come in, calls Charles Leclerc, young lad, but very talented lad, and he is second fiddle. Anyway, he just did a stonker, didn't he? He incredibly quick.
Smashed pole, so he was in pole position for the start. He unfortunately lost those places in the start.
Did you
But
do that
then-
sort of by accident, or when you are racing for pole, is it like then not so controlled in terms of?
It was just off the start, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
no, just off the. So he qualified on the front row of the grid, so first place,
Yeah.
and then on the start he just kind of like didn't get a good start and got overtaken by, was it Vettel and Hamilton?
Yeah.
And he came back. He overtook Vettel like 2 corners later,
Yep.
and then he was basically right up Vettel's arse, so to speak, just telling his team on the radio like, "Let me past. I am faster than this guy."
And that'd be normally the point where Ferrari go, "No, mate, you're the new guy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know your place.
Well, they were like, wait 2 laps and then see if you're still faster.
Yeah.
But he was just like, nah, fuck this shit. He waited for the next straight and overtook him.
No way. So he
Yeah.
like went against orders.
Went against him, but like to prove
But-
himself.
But he was like a couple of seconds a lap quicker than Vettel. So
That's
he was
crazy,
obviously, he was rocking that track.
So he goes flying off into the distance. He's got such a healthy lead. He's basically done everything right, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was like 15 seconds up the road and just kind of nursing it home in first place.
No way.
And then boom, he's got an engine issue.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Conspiracy much? Is that where we're going with this?
Basically, this is a bit technical.
Vettel caught him having a wee and was like, wait, you go through the gate, mate. I'm doing something funny to your engine.
Just a big off switch in the garage. Just turn him off.
all the people at those TVs with their headphones on just went open.
They disconnected his PlayStation controller.
But yeah, unfortunately, he dropped 2 places and came third. And he only came third through the luck of the safety car nursing the race home.
Okay. So by engine failure, then do you just have to slow down, or was it?
It wasn't complete failure; it was just loss of power. So he didn't have he didn't have as much power
That is
to
crazy,
keep
though.
everyone.
But like, you guys will know, I do like a bit of a good conspiracy story. Is there any potential that could have been issued from some crazy undercover
No.
high up thing, or is that just
No.
genuine
No.
kind of like failure?
Because whilst he gets championship driver points,
Ferrari get team points.
Okay, so it wouldn't be like an
Yeah.
actual issue for them
Yeah.
particularly too
no,
bad.
they'd just be like, well, first.
so yeah, the championship is best driver and best constructor,
Yeah.
and they're equally
Well,
as valuable,
at this
aren't
point, Vettel had spun out and was in 6th, so
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
never going to
right,
get first.
okay,
so they
cool.
were like, come on, basically.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take back my conspiracy thing then. if he was back there, then that makes perfect sense.
I mean, judging by Ferrari's strategy last year, it could have been a conspiracy theory. Like, hey guys, do you want to press this button? This button looks cool. Okay.
it's big and red like the car.
they? Control Z, Control Z.
But yeah, bloody good race.
More like that, and we've got the 1000th Formula One race
Yeah.
this Sunday
Wow.
in China.
How many years will that be? 1,000 races.
No, 1948. It's
I don't know when it started.
because there was Grand Prix before it became Formula One, basically, and
Mm-hmm.
it was basically just like boys with fast cars
Yeah.
on abandoned airfields after the war. But
That sounds cool.
yeah, and dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Silverstone literally used to be like two straights, and they both go off to the left, but you're driving at each other. So obviously one goes off to the left, the other one goes off to the left, but it's your relative
You're
left.
just crashing into the other side of the road, basically.
Yeah, but the thing is, the only thing separating you is a high-speed safety barrier made out of straw.
Tires. Oh,
Straw.
not even high tech enough for tires.
So, you know, that period where brakes don't really work that well. Yeah, be all right. Head-on collision. Be all right.
Safety barriers, though. Just a quick thing on safety barriers. This is kind of like a side note, but you know when you're on the motorway stuck in traffic,
Yeah.
there's quite a few different types of safety barriers, isn't there? Like you've got the normal kind of like big sort of corrugated iron girder thing, which probably isn't iron, it's probably like aluminium or something. But then you've got the wire things as well, haven't you? Which I think if you crashed into that wire thing, you're just going to get like torn apart.
What's the wire thing?
Well, it's just like I don't know, like suspension bridge wire kind of thing, a little bit like not as thick.
Some motorways.
Yeah, maybe more dual tracks than motorways.
I think I've
But
ever
you
seen
see
that.
it at some places. And then nowadays, you've got like on all these smart motorways and stuff, they're kind of doing the concrete barrier in the middle. But my point is that I saw something once where the central reservation was actually kind of rotating big plastic circle things. So the whole idea, you like science, don't you, Ryan? The whole idea behind this is if you crash into the big rotating circle thing, obviously the rotation of the circle soaks up a load of the energy from the impact, which makes the car not travel as fast, as far along the barrier. So basically it's all about the transfer of energy from the crash into the spin of the barrier rather than into the car going up the barrier.
So it's more absorption of the energy to try and slow the car down quickly.
Yeah, it seemed like quite a cool idea, but like I'm stuck in quite a lot of traffic pretty much all the time. So that's the kind of thing which goes
Just
through my
travel at the
head.
wrong time.
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you, in terms of slowing down crashes and preventing crashes, I do think that the best strategy is traffic.
Well,
So is this a conspiracy?
no,
The government has put more cars on the road, so there's less crashes because the cars can't go as fast.
You think? See, I think in traffic I'm a worse driver because
You get angry.
well,
You get bored.
but yeah, bored. Like when you're driving at a steady, constant speed, I find it much more sort of like, I don't know if relaxing is the right word, but you're kind of more alert and more on the flow. But when there's constant like stop-start traffic,
Yeah.
I find it way more kind of challenging to be like, concentrating properly. And I think the motion.
you kind of want to have a little
messes
look
with you.
around. What's going on out the window? What's that other driver doing over there? Like
Yeah.
you do kind of start nosying a bit because it's boring.
And then you're almost going to the back of someone at like 10 mile an hour.
Yeah, and I think as a driver, me personally, I'm sort of way more at risk of like, having a crash at a low speed in traffic than at a high speed. But then that's probably quite a naive thing to say because you don't really go out to have a high speed crash, do you?
Guess what I'm doing this weekend?
Saturday night.
I missed again.
Yeah.
Well, good motorway chat. Shit.
Right, yeah. Smart motorways, though, on the way here, actually, people using smart motorways need to up their game, man. Because all these, like, white arrows pointing into a different lane, like, a good mile ahead of when you get to the red arrow, and no one's moving across. It's just like, what are you doing? Look at the signs.
There's nothing worse than someone that leaves it to the last minute to merge.
and then they go through the first red X and then start to pull over. Like, there's some cool guy, and it's just like, no, you're a dick. because you've had literally a mile to do that.
What is the thought process in that it's like, oh, look at all these wankers waiting, I'll just cut in front of the guy there. Like, what?
I get this really kind of like I'm going to get as close to the person in front as I can.
Yeah.
And I hope that the person in front of me gets as close to the person in front of me.
You know, I've given you
It's
plenty
like-
of opportunity to get in.
It's
Now
like
you don't
a
get it.
unison of everyone stuck in traffic, like, we won't let you in.
Form a barricade!
Shield wall.
You're going on to the next junction. Well, on the topic of motoring and road use and the highway code, I want to address the bee in my bonnet. Holy shit, that how good was that? Unintended pun. Right. Picture
Seriously.
this. Picture this, right? You're in the car. Driving. It's night time.
I was going to ask what sort of environment.
Road.
Great.
Good chat.
You've got your headlights on. Mm-hmm. You're driving along, and someone's coming the other way, and you go, "Oh, they've only got one headlight. Oh, they've got their main beam on." And what they've done is they obviously know that they've entirely only got one headlight when they should legally have two. But to compensate for that, they've either put on their fog lights or their main light, their main beam. And that does that
Yeah.
bother you?
Yeah, it grinds my gears.
Oh, pun like that.
All the puns. Yeah, like I can't say I've ever sort of experienced a single headlight with the high beam on myself. Like I get it. Like, you know, you've seen people with just one headlight, and kind of, especially when it's real dark, you're like, is it a car? Is it a moped?
What is it?
You know.
Well, I'm gonna
what's going
ask,
on?
what kind of roads do you normally drive on in the dark? Is it like country roads or more like
Well, yeah, more-
carriageways and things like
yeah,
that?
more kind of like, you know, not motorways in the dark. Well, I don't know. What sort of question is that, right? Just any road all the time. Like,
I'm just
'cause
thinking, like-
you're not going to get a moped on the motorway, because I just thought about that when I said about moped.
Obviously, the environment around here,
Yeah,
you do get people with main beam on because it's dark. There's
Yeah,
no
it's dark,
street
that's
lamps,
what you're doing.
so
Yeah.
you get people flicking on their main beams and stuff when there's no
Yeah.
cars coming. That's why I was asking. Is it
Okay.
normal for that kind of thing? Like on the
yeah,
roads?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I've seen it a few times, and it's just kind of like a please turn that off. I can no longer see where I'm driving. I could be in a bush right
It's
now.
quite
I wouldn't
dangerous.
know.
Yeah, but I think a bigger issue for myself is modern day dynamic headlight fancy stuff.
What's the dynamic headlight?
Well, they look cool as hell, you know, on all these like nice fancy cars, and they're the ones which slightly move with the road, or as the car goes over bumps and stuff, the headlight sort of, I don't know, must have some sort of kind of like stabilization stuff in it, which makes it kind of a bit more smooth and stuff. But like, I find they're quite blinding, even on low beam.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
If they're slightly off center of where they should be pointing, and they're aiming anywhere near the window screen of the oncoming car, as is usually me, it's very blinding.
Yeah, you do
And
get
you
a
can't
flash.
actually tell whether it's a main beam or just a headlight. To be honest, like it's really bright, and it's these like new LEDs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
in
mean-
that situation, do you flash them?
Well, I've been that guy, and then I've been like, shit, that wasn't my beam.
Yeah, because when they flash you back, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like, oh,
well,
that's
in that
maybe-
case, your headlights are pointing too high.
Yeah. But
Have you got weight in the back of your car?
Because have you ever been flashed whilst you've got dip beam on? And you
yeah,
go, what?
there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Just fiddling with the adjustment dial down the bottom, trying to get some sort of like, you know,
Quickly turn it
adjustment.
So,
Yeah, I've got one to add
Okay.
on to road use actually, and it's carrying on about fog lights.
yeah.
It's people that just put their fog lights on to look cool. You know, people have got this obsession at the moment.
As in,
I
like,
feel,
on the front.
yeah, to have more than one front light, because the more you've got, the better. We're going to like the Vespa era right at the moment.
Yep.
Have you seen the Nissan Juke recently? Like, how many lights do you want? But yeah, people that just put their fog lights on for no reason.
It's because, have you ever seen the Fast and Furious 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14?
I only saw the first one.
They've all got lots of lights, you see. So if you were in a crew,
They'd know by how many lights you've got. Depends on which crew you're in.
no. The more lights you have, the faster and badder you are.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I go around with my side lights on at all times, just to reinforce I'm not a criminal. I'm an innocent civilian.
Okay. Do criminals not use side lights?
No, I'm innocent.
Yeah, and
But-
I hate the rear fog light as well for no reason. When you just see people like driving down the motorway with a rear fog light on, and it's just kind of like, do you know how blinding that is?
You've got to imagine that's an accident, though, because it's not cool at all, is it?
Well, I always try and signal to them that like you have a very blinding light on the back of your car by usually pulling in front of them and putting mine on and off a couple of times.
Just applying the brakes really quickly.
No,
Brake testing them.
no, I usually flash them from behind to be like,
And then they tip their headlights.
but it's got to the point where it's like, how do you signal to someone you've got your rear fog light on?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Occasionally,
Why your window open down? Oh, mate! Hello.
yeah, like flash your fog light potentially, but then are you just part of the problem?
Well, if you flash your fog light, it kind of looks like you're braking. If you pull it, as I said, if you pull in front of them and flash your fog light, it does look
that's
like
true.
you're
It's a bit of a
braking,
shock,
and
isn't it?
they're probably going to slam their brakes on, and the person behind them's bye.
I don't know. I mean, like, you know, on the subject of fog lights as well, like when it is foggy and people
Don't use
don't
them.
realise there is a feature which helps you drive in these situations, especially for drivers behind you. Like, you know, a lot of people don't use fog lights, which is equally as dangerous. Like, you know, when you're doing 60 and it's like, great, visibility is real low.
Yeah.
And then like loads of people are just like not bothering. It's just like, well, you know, you might be able to kind of see in front, but if there's a sudden stop or whatever, like that's a dangerous issue, man. Got to use them fog lights, but just not when it's not foggy.
That's a good PSA. I think there's a good lesson to be learnt in all of that.
Yeah, it's use your fog lights appropriately,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Check your tyres
don't
regularly.
and don't drive with one headlight, you wanker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you actually get like you can probably get fined, can't you, for driving without the appropriate number of headlights for your vehicle?
Yes, because it's an MOT failure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I had for my MOT. I had a headlight out.
Good.
Apparently, if you have a broken light and you tape it up appropriately where it is secure, then they can no longer count it towards your MOT.
So if it's gaffer taped onto the bodywork, it's fine.
Pretty much is what I'm taking from that.
Just a loose bulb, like
I
sellotaped on
don't
your roof.
really know.
It's got like a
It was quite confusing. It's
a
basically, as
maglite
long as it's
torch.
secured safely, then it's fine or something.
Searchlights.
Head torch just out the window.
plugged into the 12-volt port in the car.
Don't joke, I've got one of them in the car. I might try it on the way home.
Speaking of cars, Ben, we got a new Honda, got a new VW.
We have, yeah. Have you guys seen like these new electric cars on the market? Because I was thinking a few weeks ago, we're like in an exciting time for like our generation in terms of cars. Because like at the moment we probably all drive petrol or maybe diesel cars.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in our lifespans, we probably won't actually drive that many cars which are combustion, will we?
No.
Because electric will roll in over the next like 5 to 10 years.
You assume so, yeah.
Yeah, so I would presume that we would own more cars which are electric powered than like, you know, petrol and stuff like that. So like, you know, I was watching some things about electric cars and we're in an even more exciting time because we're going from like an era where we had concept cars which were amazing at concept but then in production didn't look so cool, to a time where these concept cars are becoming a reality.
Yeah.
And the new Honda E prototype looks insane and it's pretty much near identical to what the prototype version was like, basically. And then VW have got a new thing called the VW Buzz, as in like BUZZ, and it's basically a modern take on the classic split screen VW camper van, but battery powered.
Holy shit.
and these are both due for release. The Honda's the end of this year, and then the VW is 2022. But the concepts which are knocking around at the moment are pretty much 90 to 95% production in terms of what they will actually do.
I had a look at the Honda E concept.
What do you think?
I thought it looked butt ugly. Honestly, I
way.
didn't like it.
Did
I
you
thought it
not?
looked really horrible.
Oh, I think it looks sick. I think for a cool little kind of cruising little electric car, I thought it looked chunky. It's got cool circular headlights on, futuristic, like.
Just personal preference. I don't think it looks very nice.
Oh, maybe it's because I drive a small little car anyway, so maybe that's kind of what's appealing to me. But in terms of, if you look at the concept version to the what is like now going to be production, you got to agree that we are getting very close to the production looking like the concept.
I think the problem is there's so much distrust because they release so many concept cars that just never come to fruition.
But this one is.
But yeah,
it
is a good thing because you see all these concept cars and it's like, oh wow, can't wait for them to actually
amazing.
make that car.
Oh, it looks like shit.
Yeah, no, this is just a one-off. No,
Yeah.
no one's driving this. It's just like, well, why? What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like Teslas look like concept cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all those doors that are coming up and everything. That's the kind of shit that you traditionally you'd look at and go, it's proof of concept, really cool. I'm still gonna have to open doors horizontally, but I think you're right. Like, is it becoming a thing of the future?
I mean, I do agree though. Like, it's a great car for what it is. Like a little, I don't know, urban city car.
Yeah, that's what Mark's
it'd be perfect.
It's got like
The range isn't very good on it.
Yeah, the range is shite. 120 mile range, which is
Really?
realistically I travel 100 miles a day to get to work, so I'd be pushing it and pooing my pants thinking, fuck, I've only got 20 miles left.
Unless you could charge it when you get to work.
You could, but then obviously we need a much more wide rollout of that kind of infrastructure to do that.
Yeah.
But 120 miles, I would say, isn't really enough. And the price bracket, although not confirmed, there's talk around about 25 to 30 grand, which is a hell of a lot of money for a car that big.
I had a quick look at that actually because I was like, how much do these things cost? It's 25 to 40 grand.
To 40 grand though, is that with the spec upgrades?
I don't know. It's just kind of a what could it be? We reckon it's going to be about this. Considering a Tesla's like 32.
Yeah, Teslas realistically are somewhat affordable in the electric. Well, I don't know. If you're earning a decent amount of money, a Tesla is an affordable car on finance and stuff like that. I think I watched a video the other day. It's probably clickbait, but some guy was how to get a Tesla for $73 a month, and apparently there's much better rebates and stuff in America for driving electric, and he'd figured out a way of on finance and with rebates and all this kind of jazzy stuff to basically be paying $73 a month for a Tesla.
Well, that's pretty good. I'd happily pay £73 a month for a Tesla.
I think with Tesla is they are affordable for what they are. They're not trying to compete with a VW Golf or a Ford Focus or anything, are they? Or
they're family car size. It's more like competing with a Mondeo and a Passat.
Yeah, but they've got performance of a supercar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, in essence, you're getting a school run mobile that can compete with a super duper car. But it's way more towards the price of a Ford Galaxy.
Yeah, and that's cool.
And that's happy days. That's a life lesson to take away there.
With the Honda though, just quickly, did you take a butcher's at the inside of the
I
dash
didn't.
and stuff?
I only had a quick look earlier.
Okay,
I was
cool.
just looking at one article that popped up when I was trying to look for a picture of what it was, to be honest.
Because the dash is quite interesting. It's basically just all screens running along the full left to the right, and it doesn't have door mirrors. It has cameras as door mirrors. And when the original concept came out, there was talk that wouldn't have made it to production in the UK for legal safety reasons and stuff.
Yeah.
But it will actually make production. So you'll have cameras as door mirrors, and the left screen and the right screen in the cab. Would you call it the cab? I don't know. It's not a van, is it? In the cockpit is your mirror.
It's
kind
a
of
scary
cameras.
thing actually because a mirror can't fail.
Yeah,
that is very true. If you got a bit of dirt on your camera, then that could be an issue. There is some sort of anti-dirt coating or self-cleaning coating. That's probably a better word for it. But we all know they're a bunch of shite. And self-cleaning windows. It's for a while.
Because Beth's dad has just had a new company car, and it's a Peugeot 1000 and something.
Yeah.
So it's a crossover, a bit higher up. really fancy, all electric interior and whatnot. And he was driving down a dual carriageway / motorway, and the dashboard decided it just wanted to go off.
Peugeots do that.
And obviously, well, yeah, but yeah, like, because it's all electric and there's nothing analog about it. It's like, I don't know what speed I'm doing. Okay, this is weird. I don't know if my engine's overheating. I don't know anything. I have no information about the car just because the screen has decided to go off.
Did it kick back in, or was it kind of a restart the engine?
Eventually, it kicked back in, but that's not good.
That's not cool, no.
That's scary.
Yeah,
actually,
no,
yeah.
I'd be quite scared if that happened to me. And I'm not really sure these like electric monitoring, specifically speed, is a good idea.
But then I suppose when you think about it, the analog dials, they're all electronic as well, realistically, because
it's just a lot more.
It's a lot more
less simple.
yeah.
A lot
Like I
more
suppose
simple.
it feels a bit more kind of like it's not going to break as much kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like the Honda, and I thought if it was like more like 13 grand, I mean, probably not realistic.
Bring me an electric car that's 13 grand and doesn't look like the Nissan Leaf.
Yeah, but like it's amazing that we're coming into an era now where cars are becoming more like the concepts, and like, you know, they don't look like shit, because like the Nissan Leaf and all that kind of crap from, like, you know, you look at electric cars 5-10 years ago, just horrible, but now we're going into an era which is
I
like,
want
really
to see
cool.
some more futuristic looking cars.
There's a website though, actually, which, because I was looking at specs for this Honda E prototype, and I found a website which gives you like loads of like different version. Well, it gives you all the specs of electric vehicle database. So basically, you can see all the released cars and all the upcoming cars.
Yeah.
And I did notice there was like a Toyota car, which was like sort of your family crossover thing, and got to admit, it did look way better than this Honda. Looked way more sporty and stuff like that. And I would put it in the bracket of like if you had it next door to like is it an X5, BMW X5 kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put it like those two cars in the same category. And the Toyota electric car I was looking at was only 30 grand as well. And if this Honda E-Type, which is more like, you know, the size of the Twingo I got, and that's 30 grand as well pretty much, then, you know, it's crazy money for such a small car.
But this is the introduction tax, isn't it? That's sort of where we're at still with it, is that
It's still quite expensive because most of the money you're paying for is the battery technology.
Yeah, and the development of the car.
Yeah, everything else is pretty standard part.
Yeah.
I'm just showing Ryan a picture of the inside.
No, the inside is nice. I don't like the steering wheel, but I like everything else.
It's basically got like what looks like a wooden dash, but actually it's apparently, according to some video I watched, a very thick 4mm veneer.
It's very square.
It is very square. It's kind of
Have you got a picture of the outside for Miles?
Yeah.
Have you seen the outside?
I haven't seen it, no.
So it's quite a retro, I'd probably say modern take on a 70s vibe.
Yeah.
Which, when you look at the 70s, you think, God, why would you want to bring that back? Miles doesn't like it, looking at its face.
No, it's confusing. It kind of looks like Wally. What, Wally?
Wow.
Can I see it again?
Do you not think it kind of looks like a bit of a cute robot?
It kind of looks like an updated version of like a really old Golf, but gone in a different direction.
Yes.
So talking of Golfs, actually, there is a Volkswagen have got an electronic range coming out called like the ID range, which their Buzz thing falls under.
Yeah.
And again, these are a bunch of concepts at the moment, but pretty much concepts are confirmed to be pretty much production. And they've got a thing which is called the ID3, which is rumored to be like the electric version of the Golf. And that looks like, I mean, you guys can look it up, but you guys in the room, that's what that would look like.
See, that looks nicer than the Honda.
Yeah, but that also looks like a concept car that will never be released.
Yeah.
Well, the word on the street is that it is.
I mean, I didn't see them, but does it even have tyres there?
No, these are some like crazy low profile tires. That
2 millimeters thick.
Yeah, that was one thing on the
Change
Honda.
them every 200 miles.
Like that was one thing on the Honda which didn't make it from concept, like the crazy tires. But yeah, exciting times for electric cars. That's what I'd say anyway.
That's a good bit of information to have there. Mm-hmm. I think it's a sign, something to look forward to.
No, I agree. I'm kind of looking forward to driving an electric car in the future, to be honest, just to see what all this like jazz is about, you know. I'd like to test drive one just to experience it.
Yeah, I love to witness the quietness and like the
Yeah.
power without the emotion of the noise, shall we say? Because like that's like electrical. Is it Formula E? Talking about
Yeah.
Formula E,
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of people don't really like watching that because you don't get the noise, do you?
No.
It's just a high pitched whining.
Pretty good.
I don't like watching it because I think it's a bit like bumper cars. To be honest, it's
Yeah.
a bit
But
weird.
bumper cars are fun though.
It is,
Well, no,
but
hold on, not bumper cars, go karts.
Yeah.
But they're petrol.
yeah, I think it was a bit rushed. Like the tracks don't seem proper because obviously they can't run a full size track because they'd do about 3 laps and then they'd be out of
Just a
battery.
quick charge.
So I guess it's stuff like
Everyone's
that.
just there running around for USB ports.
You've got little battery packs. Should we crack open next beer?
Next beer sounds fantastic.
It's in the can that looks like a peppermint.
Well, this is of the same origin, so it is another limited edition from the Hop Foundry, from the Small Batch Brewery. Except this one is a triple hopped pale ale, and let me have a look here. It uses Citra, Summit, and Galena hops.
That's going to be like, does that mean it's just got 3 varieties of hops in?
Yeah, no.
That's obviously what it means. Yeah?
So I don't know what it's going to taste like, but
Slightly less boozy by 0.2%.
yeah, it's 4%. No, crack it open.
Oh my lord!
In sync.
Got to tap the
Hold
top,
on.
get rid of the fizz.
3, 2, 1. Oh! Cheers. Oh, the bit that I just licked off my thumb was very tasty.
Chink.
Chink.
Prefer that to the orange one.
Yep.
That's.
It's quite dry though. Is anyone else finding it quite dry?
I'm trying to figure out from the start of the sip to the end of the sip what's going on with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because
True connoisseur.
All right. At the risk of putting myself out and getting shot down, I don't think it tastes massively different from the first one.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree as well. I think, but you drink a lot more beer than me, so.
No, I think there's a massive taste difference. Have you got any left of the your orange one?
No.
The orange one tasted much more like a kind of what you'd expect, kind of a one-off craft beer to taste like. This has kind of got more kind of, I don't know if high notes sounds a bit too wild talk, but it's got a bit more of a cucumbery, fruity kind of. I don't know. Do you want kind of a bit more botanical flavour to it? Maybe.
I think it's just very much more hoppy, as
Yep.
it should be.
Okay. I feel it, pardon me. To my taste buds, it kind of like it's similar but more like you know what? Maybe come back to me on this. I need some time to process it.
No, I think I get what you're saying because like the start of the taste is similar to the orange, but
Yeah.
after like literally the moment after that, it's gone and it's something new.
The end is a lot different. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
The orange one is like consistent throughout the sip, but this one is, like Ryan said, different from the start to the end. I think I probably wouldn't be able to drink this all night
Okay.
because I feel like it would be a good idea to begin with. I'd be like, oh yeah, shit, I'll have another one of that.
Yep.
But I'd struggle towards the second half of the second pint.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's a punchy flavour. It's there, and you can definitely taste the citra for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You got a right.
Cool cans though, man.
Yeah, they are cool
Yeah,
cans.
I
whole
thought they looked
brand thing
cool, and
looks cool.
yeah, I wasn't going to get these, but when I saw them, I was like, can't really say no to that. To be honest, the original idea will have to wait for another time.
Okay. Oh, what's your rating there, Ron?
All right, I would give this a respectable 7.5.
Okay.
3, yeah.
Ben?
Personally, I'd have to go tiny a little bit lower, so 6 for the last one, so I'll do 5 for this one, I think.
A 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 6.55.
Jesus, so 0.05 higher than the last one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like
You
it.
prefer it by 0.05 more.
Just a tiny bit.
I'm very precise with my measurements.
Well, the next one's completely different, so
Oh, shit, okay.
you'll have to look forward to that one, and hopefully you'll get a better score.
Now, you mentioned there, Ben, about cucumber.
Cucumber. Quick fact about... Oh, it's not a fact, actually. It's something I used to say as a little kid. When I was a baby, I couldn't say the word cucumber. I used to say acum.
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 What?
Don't know.
Acum.
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 Do you still say that now?
No. Well, I do to kind of take the piss out myself. But yeah, I think, to be fair, as a baby, that's pretty advanced. Cucumber's a tricky word.
Yeah.
It's quite a wordy one.
I think it advanced onto like acumba, and then it got the
We got
the
there in
Q.
the end.
You got the Q
Oh,
in the end.
man, I bet you were so cute saying that.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
But
I was
then-
a cucumber in.
I was a big fat baby, so I was just asking for food, really. You know, like
Here, have this water-based product.
feed him something that is not going to make him fat.
Acum. Now, when the OMPC reached out to you, Ben, and kindly requested for you to join us on the podcast, we asked specifically, is there anything you'd like to talk about? And Acum, you said Acum, we'd like to talk about
Acum.
cucumber water and overnight oats was one of the topics you'd like
Yeah.
to breach with us. I mean, what would you like to discuss?
Just what's the vibe, man? Like cucumber water, I've started to discover recently, and I think it's amazing. I never thought just a few slices of cucumber would make such a difference to a drink, but it does.
So you're making like a jug of this?
No, I don't make it, like, because of the line of work I'm in. Sounds very sketchy. Basically, go to a lot of weddings.
I'm a
and
cucumber dealer.
one of the Acum.
I don't have to bring my work home.
Yeah,
So,
Ackham's
like-
just like the street name.
Yeah, that's like, you know, as soon as people mention that, I'm like, hit them up with a bootload of Acum. But no, like, go to a lot of weddings, and usually at the bar, there's always kind of a jug of like cucumber water, and then like another one of like lemon water or something. And I've just never really thought about cucumber water before, and it's kind of like one of those things which once you have it, you're like, actually, this is really nice, and it's kind of, it tastes better than water.
It just sounds very sophisticated, doesn't it?
It does sound pretty posh.
Okay, so have you had Acum water?
I've never had Acum water.
No.
Give it a go. Next time, it's like, you know, you're feeling like you need some intense refreshment. Get on the cucumber water.
See, I'm a major squash person. I can't live without squash.
Right.
Like, it's very rare that I just drink water on its own. It's got to have squash in it. So how would you compare it to that? Because obviously,
Well, squash is quite,
quite
like,
an
you know, you've
intense
got kind of
flavour.
like a sugary sort of like taste to it. The cucumber water is much more subtle.
okay.
Like, yeah, you probably wouldn't like it. Like,
It's not that I don't.
straight up.
It's not.
Like-
It's not that I don't like water. I'm just saying it's predominantly.
Yeah,
I
it's
drink
very
squash.
sort of like subtle, but makes a lot of difference. And maybe it's because I've become quite a bit of a gin drinker recently, and maybe it's because of that kind of sort of drinking.
I see. You know, throw the old cucumber in the gin and tonic as well.
Well, yeah, you know, and like different botanical gins and stuff. Like, I know it's very sort of like on trend to be into gins, but some gins are just like really, really nice. I've got one of the minute orange infused gin.
Did it taste anything like the first beer?
It didn't taste like the first beer, though. But yeah, so cucumber water, man. You should try it if you haven't tried it.
Imagine if you had fizzy gin. What the fuck is this?
Just like
Who
that.
did this? That's what the tonic's for, no?
Yeah, actually. All right, let's finish this. I'm done.
And what was the other topic? Overnight oats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually done it yet, but I've been thinking about overnight otes. Because
Oh, so you can't really comment on
can't
it.
comment on it, no. But
Seems like a good idea. Make breakfast before you go to bed.
yeah, like getting on it in terms of like, you know, save something to do in the morning. And also like I'm kind of a bit bored of just like cereal and toast and like that kind of stuff.
What cereal do you have?
Usually just like what do you call it? Like cornflakes or kind of very kind of bland kind of what do you call them, like brand flakes, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Special K.
Oh, Special K is quite nice.
Yeah, especially when it's got like strawberries and stuff in.
Yeah.
Buy
But-
cucumber.
Not for breakfast.
I'm going to ask though, have you ever tried just normal morning oats?
Yeah, but I feel like when it's summer, especially, a big
You're going for that refreshment.
bowl
I
of
see.
porridge is a bit like, ugh, stodge.
Yeah.
And overnight oats, I've just seen it like done in quite a few exciting ways. And I don't know, I've been looking at how I can introduce more fibre to my diet. And apparently you could dress up overnight oats really well to like incorporate like quite a lot of fibre. And
I think my sister eats overnight oats.
yeah. What kind of, have you ever seen any sort of like what she does?
No.
But yeah, like, so I was thinking of giving it a go, but as of yet, I haven't. So when you get me on for the 50th podcast episode, because, you know, keep in line with the 5 theme.
You
I'll
realise
let
that's
you
in
know.
like 6 years' time,
Yeah, that's
don't you?
fine. I might have actually done it by then.
So, am I right in thinking overnight oats is literally slow roast porridge?
Slow
I have no
roast.
idea.
No, you don't. Let,
Do you just add the milk to
you
the
don't let
oats?
it brew all night in the hot water. You yeah, it's just
Milk and oats and then straight in the fridge.
yeah, milk, oats, or water, or whatever kind of
I don't know.
liquid you want to use, and then leave it in the fridge overnight, and it just swells it up. Well, it soaks it all in basically. So it doesn't really. I don't think it cooks it, but maybe the heat and the milk in the morning porridge normally would like it enhances the absorption maybe. So overnight when it's cold, this is only a theory by the way, not
Yeah, okay.
tested, not scientific. Maybe like when it's cold overnight, the time just lets it all soak in naturally.
Yeah.
Whereas the heat would maybe speed it up. That's probably bullshit, but
I've had a thought for the greatest crossover. Angel Delight overnight oats.
fuck. Angel Delights, I think, isn't it?
Angel Delight is
Beautiful.
What's your flavour?
Got to be strawberry, or not flavour. Pink. It's got to be
Pink.
the colour.
Yeah, it's pink.
I love the
Yeah.
pink Angel Delight.
What's your colour, Ron?
I'll admit I haven't had Angel Delight since I was a kid, like a proper kid.
Wow, Ryan, you need to go home tonight and treat yourself.
But it was pink. It was pink back in
Yeah.
the day.
It's the most common colour.
Yeah, I would say so. I honestly, I can't remember ever seeing another colour.
Angel Delight is just wicked. What even is it? It's powder, isn't it? Powder and milk.
Yeah, what is it? Like, it kind of seems like something that should have come out like after the war during like rationing.
Probably did.
You probably did, mate. Okay.
Do you reckon it's like some sort of like byproduct of custard powder? By mistake, they discovered it.
Maybe it comes in the
Got you
same.
thinking now,
I think we
haven't
need to get some research on the go and get back to this
Yeah,
next week.
I don't want
Where
to hype the conspiracy.
Where the hell did Angel Delight come from?
And where did the
Yes.
name come from? Angel Delight.
Presumably, it came from heaven. Because it's-
Delightful.
Damn. Yeah, I think that does need some research because I don't mean to heighten a conspiracy theory, but it comes in very similar type packets to custard.
It does. Maybe it's made at the same factory.
Maybe it's coloured custard.
We're just eating coloured custard. God damn it.
That'd be like the Teletubbies. They used to have pink custard, didn't they?
Well, I used to make Tubby custard when I was a kid just by melting strawberry ice cream. Great stuff. Easily entertained.
Did you put some Malcolm in that? The greatest crossover ever. So overnight oats with Angel Delight infused with Akon water.
I need to segregate this. The Acum phase was when I was a baby, just learning how to speak. Tubby custard was more like, I don't
15,
know.
16.
I was going to go for more like 18, 19. I don't know, probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know where Angel Delight fell into the equation. But yeah, it was young kid.
Yeah. Tubby custard looked fucking incredible.
Tubby toast, mate.
Didn't have like a sort of smiley face on or something.
I think so, yeah. Just it made me jealous
Just
of my
Teletubby
breakfast every
Land,
morning.
man. Like Teletubby Land, right?
Fucking
When-
you know.
They're just like when it rains, they got like a perfectly formed puddle. Just all go jump in it.
Hold on a second. We've got a few American listeners.
Okay.
Is Teletubbies present in the US?
I've got no idea.
Wasn't it like a BBC thing?
Okay, so we should probably give
I'm
some.
pretty sure no one under the age of 17 knows what the
it probably hasn't been
Teletubbies
on
is
for, like,
anyway.
ages.
Right. So back in our day,
When I were a lad.
when we all lad, all right, we had Telebox, and on Telebox was these four. There was a blue one, a yellow one, a green one, and a red one.
Fat things with fat heads and televisions
Tubby
in the
things
stomach.
they were.
Yeah.
Pretty tubby, and they all had a different shape on their head.
Yeah, antennas on their heads, yeah. Yeah, and they all had televisions in their stomachs. It looked like a very science gone wrong. But as a kid, you loved them.
Mate, you could make a fucked up horror movie out of the Teletubbies if you really
Yeah.
wanted to.
Oh yeah, for sure. But as a kid, it was just and the sun had a face that would laugh.
It was a baby face.
Baby face.
A real baby, because they like found the person who it was,
Yeah.
and now they're not a baby, because that's how life works.
It'd be weird. they gotta get them back for a Teletubby reunion.
Yeah.
It's just like some teenager's face. Like, what do you want?
Say hello. Yeah, and they lived in Teletubby Land, which was just rolling meadows, and they lived in this big.
Sort of like dome-shaped Eden Project kind of style thing.
And it was lush, wasn't it? It was gorgeous. You wanted to be there.
Cool. Had a wicked slide, because they get in by like they walk to the top of the little hill, wouldn't they? Which was the top of the building. Jump down a hole and bam.
Oh, yeah, I
slide
remember now, yeah.
inside Teletubby
Really?
Mansion. And then whenever there was an announcement, some little when parks in the 90s always used to have them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like a little thing which you'd speak into, then like 20 meters away, another kid could hear what you were saying because it went under a pipe. You don't get that these days.
No, it's kind of like the top end of an old-fashioned telephone.
Yeah. And one of them used to pop out the ground, didn't it?
Yeah.
It used to be like, time for Tubby Custard.
Yeah.
Time for Tubby Custard.
Here's
yeah.
the Teletubbies.
Yeah.
You
Used to do shit like
remember
that.
far too much about Teletubbies. Are you
Well,
sure you haven't recapped the season before the podcast?
Seen it recently, but it's etched in my mind. Just,
I'm not surprised. It was a great TV.
It was
program.
cool. Like
So I'm gonna throw it out there.
rabbits as well
Yeah.
with Mixie. Little inside joke.
Kids TV has definitely just not improved in terms of weirdness.
Is it still weird? I've seen
Still
some
weird.
Iggle Piggle a few years back.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
and
so,
that was trippy as hell.
So Beth's cousin's little girl watches. I'm gonna say the name. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% it's correct. I think it's called In the Night Garden. Not 100%.
That's the one with Iggle Piggle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and there's a character that just polishes his rocks all day. That's all he does.
Does he now?
He
Dirty bastard.
He collects his rocks and he polishes them all day, and that's all he does. And he orders them and has them outside his little house order. It's just kind of like, what the hell is going on? Am I
What a
high?
strange man.
Am I high? I'm very confused.
Wow.
Isn't there?
Holy shit.
I hear quite a lot of shit about I don't know. I think it's on the radio, like Radio 1 quite a bit. There's like a program on CBBC or CBBS, is it? The really
Couldn't
small
tell you.
TV channel
Yeah,
for kids?
CBeebies is the really young one.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
and there's like a program where they basically get like, I don't know, what you consider like a sexy celebrity maybe to read a story, and it's meant to be story time, but it's actually like, parent, look at the celebrity time, and just relax. They're always taking the piss on Radio 1 about it, like because they'll get some guy with a cool voice and shit to like read some bedtime story, and it's all like, it's not rude or innuendo, but it's kind of done in a way which it's more for like the parents to watch and have a bit of a laugh over kind of thing, because it's like,
So it is for the kids to watch and listen to the story, but
yeah, but at the
it's
same
basically
time,
appealing to the parents to
Yeah.
be like, put this on because you can watch it too.
yeah, they're like playing up
Got
to
you.
it kind of as in
Yeah.
like, I don't know if sex appeal is an appropriate word to use for such a program, but they're sort of playing on that kind of factor for like the parents to watch, and it's a bit of a thing now apparently, where they always try and get like somebody different who's like a bit like,
There's been some really big names on there, but one of the weirdest ones I remember is Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age. Like really great, long-lasting, hard rock, weird band. And just the front man of that on CBeebies. You know, it's a logical path, isn't it? Really, when you
Yeah.
Can't say I've ever watched it, to be honest.
No, I haven't
maybe
seen
I
it,
should. I'm an adult now.
But I've heard
maybe I'll
just
enjoy
heard
it.
clips on Radio 1. But yeah.
we've got so much research to do. Maybe that's
Maybe we'll have to try and find some like best clips from that program.
all right. I feel like that's a topic well covered. I think we smashed that one.
Teletubbies expert
Yep.
level.
Yeah. I mean,
What were the names quickly?
Tinky Winky, Dipsy, La La, Po.
Oh shit! You reeled them off quick.
Mate. It's like the song's going to be in my head for the next few days now. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
now,
You should make that the intro and the outro for this podcast.
do we want to go on a huge tangent onto the next topic we aforementioned said that we'd like to talk about?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I can. Hold on. I think I've got a segue. I think I can do this.
All right.
Teletubbies, speakers coming out the ground, speakers in headphones, active noise cancelling in headphones, and how does it work? Whoa, segue.
First off, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
You just saw the
Good
inner work.
path flow.
Yeah. I think it was fluid
Yeah.
transition.
So I have a theory of how they work. I don't actually know. I'm not sure.
This is technology we somewhat take for granted, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just works.
I think it, in my head it's quite a basic thing, like of how it works, but I'm not sure. So just trying to think of what sound is. Essentially, it's waves. Like it has a wavelength, and in my head, to cancel out a sound, you just have like the opposite wavelength.
Yeah.
Because it kind of nullifies the sound to be zero on the. For anyone who can't see me now, I'm currently waving my hand up and down
Yeah, you're
in a hill fashion.
yeah, peaks and troughs. You're doing an air waveform.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of picking up what the background noise is, and then somehow reverse engineering that to make the opposite sound wave. And then I don't know. Maybe you can't hear it when you play that. I don't know.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, really?
Basically, yeah. And it works on the theory that so if your wave at its highest point is +2, you flip the phase 180 degrees, so you get -2, and then you play that back at the same time, and what you get is 0.
Isn't there like a theory like every action has a reaction or something, and or
Every
is it-
action has an. Oh wait.
but it-
Every action has an opposite reaction.
Yeah, and it's like as long as you apply it, you always can cancel it out or get back to 0 or some sort of degree or something.
Theoretically, with sound, yeah, it's
See, I was expecting it to be like super wrong, and then you could be like, "Well, actually, Ryan, it's this."
firm around ears.
Do you try earplugs?
what you need is loads of egg boxes.
Okay, well, I don't know whether you guys know this, but if the technology is that, I'm going to quotation mark, simple,
Yeah,
why do you get good noise cancelling headphones and bad noise cancelling headphones?
this is something I can really work out.
Because if it is as simple as just recording the ambient sound, flipping the phase 180 degrees, and cancelling the sound out, surely every headphone should be able to do that if you want it to.
Maybe there's different degrees because a few weeks ago, like I've never really thought about noise cancelling headphones too much and like if they worked or not. But a few weeks ago, I was using a printer, which makes quite a lot of noise, and I had some headphones on, but wasn't playing anything. And I thought, I'm just wasting the battery. So I turned the headphones off. And then I was like, shit, I can hear that printer now. And I couldn't before. So I did a bit of a test, turned the headphones back on and off. And I was like, yeah, definitely the headphones, not me. And that's the first ever time I've witnessed noise cancelling headphones kind of, like experiencing the cancellation kind of thing. So maybe it's like some headphones are marketed as noise cancelling, but they don't actually have like the microphone and the processing technology within
So
it.
you
And
think
it's
it could
just
be like the quality of the microphone and the processing
and the
power,
algorithm and
maybe.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And maybe some headphones are just like, oh, well, we literally have just got a bit more crunchier foam around the ear plugs or whatever, and that's what we're constituting as noise cancelling. But then others will, like, these were Beats by Dre, which I've never thought were that good. But, like, after that, I was like, oh, actually, they obviously do make quite a bit of difference with the noise cancelling. So maybe it is just the technology of the microphone and the...
All your foam and your suction and everything to your ears. So all noise cancelling headphones are closed back, right? And all your foam and everything, that is passive noise cancelling, the same way as earplugs or whatnot to protect your hearing. And then the active part is the microphone. And so I've got 2 pairs of active noise cancelling headphones, and the comparison is ridiculous. Like, the cheaper pair do an okay job, but by the nature of them, they introduce so much noise into it.
Does it come back as like static feedback almost?
A bit, yeah, digital noise.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah. And then the other pair I've got, a new pair of Sony something or other. Sony are not very good at naming their products, so it's just like a serial.
Like HZ170S, something like that.
Basically, the serial number is the model. Terrible, but they are insane, and they're really quick because, like, generally, like the first lot of consumer-based active noise cancelling was good for like planes, plane engines and whatnot. But then if like people are talking, it's not quick enough to pick up that the processing and the cancellation isn't quick enough. But now, like modern, like these new ones that I've got, I mean, granted they're quite expensive, but like insanely good. It's like an anechoic chamber. But I've got some facts. I've got some interesting facts. Now, in the 50s, there was a bunch of... Well, this tech goes back a long way, the principle of active noise cancelling. It's not a new thing by any stretch. But in the 1950s in America, there was a geezer called Lawrence Fagel. And he took out a bunch of patents to protect his idea. And basically, his intentions were to apply noise cancelling within airplanes and helicopters within the cockpit. And that was... Oh,
so it wasn't an idea to do it within a headphone, it was an idea to do it within the whole craft itself.
Yeah, because theoretically you can do it with microphones and speakers on a larger scale.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But would you, even though the noise cancellation would effectively make the source of the noise inaudible, would that be the right word? Would you still have to shout, though, because there is actually sound waves going on? Does that make sense? Like, would it still be loud, but just inaudible?
But presumably, like, I don't know the answer to that, but on a practical scale, you'd probably got a microphone and headset on anyway in the cockpit.
Yeah.
So I guess...
Removing the headphones probably wouldn't make...
Yeah. Oh. I didn't think
Interesting,
about that.
though. Interesting.
And we're saying about the microphone and speaker on a wider scale, not just headphones. That is actually used during Eurovision performances. Because obviously in some areas of Eurovision, there's such a political thing that you could be watching the greatest performance of your lifetime, but you know that country is a traditional political enemy of you, so you'll boo them regardless. And you don't want to capture that on the performance.
They cancel out the audience, essentially.
If they're booing, they'll cancel them out. Yeah, for the TV broadcast.
That's cool.
How interesting is that? Like, I can't believe that's.
They should just keep it so we know how like the dirty politics between the countries.
Oh, they don't like Slovakia.
Eurovision's not too
No one likes us. What a surprise!
In the 1990s was the first use of active noise cancelling in a car. The Nissan Bluebird was the first car to use it. However, it was rubbish. Very poor implementation of it, apparently. But it's a fairly common thing in cars now to remove road noise, tyre on tarmac, noisy roads and whatnot. And obviously, I can't remember who was telling me the other day. This just coming to my head, but like, you can choose what sound your car pipes in through the speakers.
So that's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was just done through like insulation and stuff.
I thought that was with mostly electric cars and like GT cars. Because they're so quiet, they give you a bit of noise just to kind of keep you awake, basically.
You are still driving.
Because if your ride is so smooth and so quiet, it's the perfect atmosphere to fall asleep because these cars are designed to be comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
So they kind of give you a bit of
Well,
engine noise.
On that note, actually, taking it back to the Honda E-Type, but that car, not E-Type, that's a bloody Jag, prototype, whatever, that did have a HDMI input and a 3-pin 240-volt plug built in as standard.
Wait,
So you can plug in your computer, not just your laptop, and you can HDMI it into the little screens on the dash. But anyway, back to the point.
what? I like the fact that someone's just going to be sitting there charging their phone, and then it's going to be like, oh wait, we've got no battery left. Why is the car not going anymore?
Using that
You watch too much YouTube, you dick.
So that is the conclusion of my research on active noise cancelling.
Very good research.
It's cool stuff though. Like,
Yeah, it's interesting.
The fact that basically kind of pumping out the opposite noise makes us not be able to experience the noise. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like the whole sound technology and stuff like that, and like just the way sound waves work is kind of really, really interesting.
Yeah, do you not think it's really, really mad that can actively be happening and our oral system and our brain just takes it as, oh, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
but
like-
actually, there's
There's a lot there. Like there might be some
Literally just our eardrum is vibrating at the opposite wavelength.
Like there might be some sort of creature,
Yeah.
like which that is like absolutely fucking killing its ears
Yeah.
because it's like shit. Now there's way too much noise and there's double of it. Like but we're just like I can't hear anything.
Maybe that's why the dog's
Well, that's
insane.
it. That's it. Like our hearing isn't particularly good in terms of species. So maybe that's easier because these peaks and troughs, maybe they're a bit more broad, and as long as you get it within a certain range, you pretty much you're good. But say something for like a dog, maybe they need to be like super thin. I don't know. I can't remember how waves work too well, but
Well, the thinner they are, the higher frequency
Yeah,
they
it's-
are, right? But I don't know what a dog's hearing range is.
It's a lot higher though, isn't it? Because they can hear the training muscles and stuff, can't they?
Yeah. Can they hear the brown?
The brown noise.
The brown note.
The brown note. I think that's been proven that can actually happen. I think.
Yeah, it's something like 16 hertz, which is
I mean,
Very-
that's inaudible from any speaker technology. I think, isn't it?
yeah, but you can subconsciously sense it. I think that's the deal with it. So you can't sing it and go, "Yeah, I love the bass line on this one," but you can. Because 20 hertz is theoretically the lowest we can hear, but even it's hard to produce a note like that. And then,
depends on age as well.
Mm.
Your
Yeah.
hearing range really depends on age because it's why they put those antisocial speakers up around like corner shops and stuff, isn't it? Because young teenagers can hear these notes and it's meant to be like, oh, okay, let's just leave.
yeah,
But most people can't hear it.
That's true. And like the things you put in your garden to get cats away and stuff like that. Have you not seen them?
no,
It's like a little box with a motion detector sensor thing on, wedged in the ground, and then it like every time it sees something go past, I didn't see.
I feel like a bear trap would be a better alternative.
a big, massive bear trap.
Yeah, cat's actually too light to trigger it, just steps on it anyway and it's like,
Yeah, it's
what?
like, what's going on?
or just a catapult.
Flings it straight back
a
into the
bolt.
other garden.
Just into the next county. Have you this is going off topic here, but have you been keeping up with the whole thing going on with PewDiePie?
Mm-mm.
I just thought like
I haven't.
you might be interested, like you know
What's he been up to? Has he been doing more Nazi shit?
allegedly.
Has he actually? Oh,
No. So basically, 6 months ago, he's been number one subscribed YouTuber for years now.
What's his number? Do we know?
Well,
top of
hold
our
on,
head.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So about 60 million subscribers.
60 million. Fuck.
Yep.
That is insane, isn't it?
Right. He was starting to get challenged by another thing
Not
called
Lo-
T-Series.
Not Logan Paul.
No, not Logan Paul, no. T-Series, who is a Indian, basically if you imagine Indian Vivo, right?
The
You know, like loads of music videos.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're a
okay,
corporation,
Vivo.
music
Yeah,
video corporation, right? And the challenge was on is that they were going to overtake PewDiePie. And it started off as like a bit of a meme, you know, subscribe to PewDiePie, which is obviously, I mean, surely you've heard of that going around, subscribe to PewDiePie.
haven't. No.
No, okay.
Sorry, I'm not in the right YouTube circles.
No, okay, fair enough. And so, like, this whole meme that's going on, basically, of like, it's a big old joke, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. And it was kind of neck and neck, but PewDiePie was always number one. And in a couple of months, he got another 30 million subscribers. So he was up at
they
90.
Actually upped him 30 million.
Yeah,
People were doing crazy shit, weren't they?
What do you mean crazy shit? What?
Like, there's a geezer called Mr. Beast who's doing all, like, he's another YouTuber.
Mr. Beast. Is this? Oh, fuck yeah. He was. Who was he on the other day? He was on with Casey Neistat on a YouTube video, I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And I was like, I recognise this guy. And then, because he just does random shit, like says things 100,000 times.
Yeah. And he's like a mega supporter of PewDiePie, isn't he?
I mean,
he spends like $2 million a year just to kind of do all of the crazy shit that he does or something.
how the hell? I mean, when you think about, right, I'm going to say someone's name 100,000 times, you could be like, oh, it's just 2 days, I can do it. But I can, no way.
Psychologically,
I
that's
get
a
to about
challenge.
100 and be like, fuck this.
Yeah, I've got better things to do with my time.
Well, he said PewDiePie, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think so,
like-
for 100,000 times.
And he read the dictionary, Mr. Beast did, as well.
Shit, this geezer, like, in all fairness, he must have some incredible self-control.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd get to like the second page of the dictionary and be like, that's it, mate, I'm getting a snack. This is
Wow, I
going to be
deserve
here
a
a
break.
while, give me a biscuit.
I saw a good meme earlier that if you read the dictionary, every other book is just a spin-off. So anyway, the good bit is about this whole thing, right, is that PewDiePie released one diss track called Bitch Lasagna.
right.
Brilliant name for a diss track, right? You're basically calling T-Series a bitch lasagna, which is both offensive and inoffensive, right? And anyway, for ages and ages, it was looking like T-Series was going to overtake and become the number one most subscribed. Just didn't happen. And then one day, 1st of April,
Oh.
T-Series overtook, and PewDiePie finally dropped the second track. And he'd basically done this track called Congratulations with these two other guys. And it was a congratulations song. Congratulations, you overtook me. You're number one. You know, and it's basically calling them out because they started their company and selling pirated music, and he's had cease and assists from them, and there's a lot of dodgy tax dodging and all this sort of stuff to bring light to it. He releases this song, and they were number one for like a couple of hours.
I don't know. I'm not up to date. So
Mate, I've well been
it's all
into
you.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
What happened then after?
He dropped the track, and they were for a couple of hours at number one, and then he just shot up to 500,000 ahead again, and he's still ahead now.
How much were they in the lead by though when they caught the lead?
No, only a couple of thousand.
Oh, so that's like,
Yeah,
negligible.
but the rate of expansion of the channels is that this should have happened and finished a few months ago. But like people are jumping on this now because they don't want
Sorry. Wow.
I'm so shocked.
So shocked.
some disgust at the matter.
Sorry, just
People
had a-
don't want the corporation to be number one. Like it's literally like
Well, that's the thing. Like YouTube,
This is like why Donald Trump's the president.
YouTube's a place for like the individual to essentially express themselves, isn't it? And
Well,
I guess-
originally, although you'd find like I follow a lot of like free running people and shit like that because I'm so edgy and never free run in my life, but like the cool videos, and they're all like hating on YouTube because of how it's all kind of changed and like they can't do their free running shit and monetize because they're like it's not safe and we can't like put adverts on that and stuff. So I think there was a bit of like backlash.
yeah, I get that,
terms of-
but I guess the thing that I'm trying to say is obviously you've got someone like PewDiePie who is an individual person doing what he wants to do, and then you've got someone that's a corporation essentially, like
doing
T-Series.
dodgy
Like it's like a company, and it's like, to be honest,
Yep.
even if they had more subscribers, like they can't really say I am the most subscribed person in the world because it's not an I, you're an entity.
And is their content music videos?
Yeah,
So they're
essentially.
not creating; they're just the platform for the output.
I think they create them as well.
yeah. There's a lot of money
I
involved.
think
in
it's essentially the same as if a record label started a YouTube channel and just released all of the music onto YouTube.
Is it a bit like that shit like a while back when American teenagers would be like, I want to be a pop star, and then they pay some weird geezer like 20 grand to make a music video? Like, what was that girl called? It's Friday. Rebecca
Black.
Yeah, shit like that. Wasn't that whole platform just like, give me a load of money and I'll put you on YouTube?
I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it's more of a publisher, kind of like an all-in-house thing. It's a and the thing is that internet in India has now become quite affordable for the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are going on there, and it's like, I like the country for my music, which is the music from my country, which is completely understandable, you know. Yeah. And so and then YouTube picks up like geotags and everything else. Like you're throwing T-Series at them. But interesting though, today, this is some fresh news. By a Supreme Court ruling, bitch lasagna and congratulations are now blocked videos in India. Serious?
On what grounds? Because they're offensive to the channel only?
Defamation and offensive content.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
And is PewDiePie like literally just a Lone Ranger still?
He's got 2 editors.
Okay, but he's not like one of these guys who like looks like he's on his own, but actually got a team of like 20 guys out the back.
No, I think he just records himself daily doing shit, and then he sends his footage off to his 2 editors, and then they put something together, and then he uploads it.
Sweet. So that's like just outsourcing pretty much
Yeah.
normal level, and that's not like
It's very achievable though. Like it's not like, I mean, there's some amazing individual creators' content on YouTube, but like from his point of view, like he's not doing anything amazing. It's just his character. You know, he's only just in the last few months gone up to filming in 1080p.
It's all about content.
It's all about content.
You know, it doesn't matter. Like,
Thing is, when you've got a hyping community behind you as well, it really pushes other people into your picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helped him massively.
Yeah. Should we crack another beer?
I think the third and final beer is it's on the table.
This looks. I can see the cans. I can see them. They look fun. What is it, Ryan?
So this one is called the 1079 Project.
Okay.
It's got a nice paragraph somewhere on this can, and it says the story of 1079. The first cultivation of hops was in 736, the year, in the Hallertau region of Germany, and the first mention of using hops in brewing was in 1079. So this beer is dedicated to the first recorded use of hops to make beer.
I actually love that bit of trivia. That's cool.
So
I
it's
like old facts like that.
dry hopped for a bright, refreshing, and joyously crisp flavor, crafted using 285 years of Dutch brewing craftsmanship.
Mm.
And it's a Pilsner.
It's a Pilsner. The can looks so cool.
It's 4.6%.
Jumped up a bit again.
Just not mine.
How does it call? It's kind of got like a matte silver finish, the can, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me whether you like these ones.
Okay.
That is cool. And history, man. Like, oh, sorry, I just talked over the crack. I am so sorry. Let's get that one in there. Slow motion effect. But recorded history is something we all take for granted, I think.
Oh, yes.
That's very different to the first two.
Yes.
Well, this is not a typical beer. It is a Pilsner. So
Right, hold on a minute, guys. This tastes just like the other ones. This is a 6.555. This is pleasant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's making me go. Which means
it's good. I'm enjoying this one.
Mm-hmm. This one is. This one's an all-night one. I could do this all night.
Mm.
Can we get a rating off either of you? Who wants to go first?
Give me one more sip. Miles, you go. We know what you're going to say. Maybe not.
This is not a 6.555.
6.5.
I'm going to bump it up. I'm going to say this is a 7.12.
I like the fact that we're on like this 1,000-point scale now because we've got 2 decimal places.
7.12. I think it's very pleasant. I think it's very smooth. Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is the all-nighter. I'm getting a real taste for Pilsner recently, so yeah, I'm digging this. Ben, what are you saying?
I keep it simple and just go for an 8. But yeah, it's kind of a lot lighter, I'd say, to drink. Not as
right.
sort of kind of I don't know, dense is the right word. I'm just chatting crap, aren't I? But like, it's a lot more easier to drink. It's nice and refreshing, nice and light. And yeah, I feel like you could have a good few and not be like, oh shit, what have I done? You could drink it for a long time quite easily.
Okay. Ryan?
I'll go for a solid 7. Yeah. Interesting about these beers.
Yeah.
They come in a pack of 4.
Yeah.
I think they were just over £2 for 4.
Mate.
So that's about 50p each, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I think
decent.
it would have been at most 60p a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, Aldi.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, eh?
Because
Aldi's insane.
I saw these.
Yep.
I saw the limited edition beers and was like, well, I can't go along with 2 beers. I've got to get something else. So I saw them, pack of 4. I was like, well, there's going to be 4 of us tonight. Sadly, there isn't. But perfect.
Should I give a rating on George's behalf?
You should send them in the post and let them get back to you.
No.
We can.
I could do a rating. We know him really well. He's probably going to say something like, it's a tricky one for me. I really like Pilsner, but it's got me thinking. I like Heather Gray. And he'd probably give a rating like mine, I think.
To be fair, this is a great can.
Yeah.
Ish.
It's got a signature on.
Yep. I don't know. I think George would probably give it a 7.2457.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Is that the first 3 decimal point score?
I've prepared a little quiz for us. No, I haven't told you what the nature of the quiz is. I've only told you the name. Are you ready for it?
I'm never ready for a quiz, and especially not this one, if I'm honest.
Okay, now I've got 3 potential names for it. So the first part of the quiz is deciding what we're going to call it.
Always a great way to start a quiz.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, it's tricky. Now, the quiz is related to Kanye West. We're all super fans, I believe.
Maybe.
I like Kanye West.
Unanimous, yes. Okay, great. So, the first name suggestion for this quiz is Kanye or No Way. Second option.
Oh, I
have a suggestion before you go on to the others, and you might already have this down.
Okay.
Kanye or Kanye.
Yep, that's one of them. My final one is the Kanye West test. No.
I like mine just because it's
Yeah,
mine.
I think I'd have to go for Ryan's on this one.
So Kanye or Kanye?
Kanye.
Okay.
Or we could go Kanye and can't nay.
The premise of my quiz is quite simple, right? I have got 5 sections of lyrics here, and I want you to tell me whether you think this is a Kanye lyric or a Kanye lyric. Not a Kanye lyric. Okay?
I mean, yeah, considering I've never willingly listened to Kanye in my life. This is going to be fun.
Okay, so I will declare the point system. 1 point if you guess correctly, and another point if you can tell me the name of the song.
Oh, God.
So the most I can get is how many questions are there?
There's 5. So
5 points is my max then. Yes or no? I don't know any of the songs.
Yeah, I'm not going to know any of the names.
Okay.
Maybe the album. Yeah.
well, I haven't researched what album.
No.
Well, okay. But these are some fantastic lyrics.
Okay.
You know, I have not got any bog standard lyrics. These are the best. So, are you ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. The first set of lyrics. Pockets on Shrek. Rockets on deck. Tell me what's next. Alien sex. I'ma disrobe you. Then I'ma probe you.
Oh, the first bit I was like, not sure about that, but the last bit sounds very Kanye.
Right, okay.
Yes.
You're saying yes,
Yes.
it is Kanye.
Yes.
I'd throw in a yes as well.
Okay, that's 2 yeses. And I guess of the song?
No.
I've just got a top 10 of Kanye up just to be like, I can have a little bit of a guess. I'm gonna go with Power.
Do you want to take another guess?
Gold Digger. 4 or 5 seconds. I love it. Okay, now I'm done then.
Did you list off 10 then?
Have you got a guess, Ben?
I haven't. I'm not very good with song names, so
Okay.
I'm going to pass on that.
Well, that was Katy Perry,
Oh,
E.T. feat Kanye.
Oh, so it did have Kanye in it.
It did have Kanye in it,
Okay,
yeah.
cool, so that counts as
so
Kanye.
so that's 2 points, one each.
Nice.
Got 1 point piece. Next set of lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And she accidentally slipped and fell on my dick. Oops, I said, on my dick. I didn't really mean to say on my dick, but since we're talking about my dick, all you haters say hi to it.
What the fuck?
These are all real lyrics.
Bullshit.
No, these are real lyrics. I
Really?
need you to tell me
So even if that's not Kanye, that is from an actual song.
whether it's Kanye or not. This is legit.
Kanye.
Kanye. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it would be. So I'm going to say Kanye too.
Okay. All right. Guess the song? No. Yes.
I can't even guess who the bloody artist would be if it's not Kanye.
Okay. You're both correct. That was from "Look at Me Now" by Chris Brown.
I'm doing quality.
Yeah,
I'm doing
I
great on
suppose
this quiz.
I can see it's more Chris Brown kind of like. Chris Brown made a cool couple of songs back in like 2007, which sounded like they were like recorded on garage band demos, but that's about it for me.
Didn't he then start like beating women and it's just gone all
Yeah, then it
downhill
got all
for
a
him?
bit sketchy.
Tut tut.
Yeah.
She got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. That's it.
I'm gonna go. Oh no! Oh shit! Because that sounds like something Drake might say.
Kanye.
To be different to Ryan this time, I'm gonna say can't. Nay.
Ben takes the lead. That was "Birthday Song" by 2 Chainz.
I don't know whether you've noticed, but I'm just going to go from one answer to the other.
See, I was concerned that someone would do that.
Damn it, now we're going to think outside the box.
Okay, so what are we on? 3-2. Okay.
I'm just glad I got 2. To be fair.
I want to fuck you hard on the sink. After that, give you something to drink. Step back, can't get spunk on the mink. I mean, damn, what would Rome think?
That's Kanye, I'd say. I can hear him saying it, and if it's not, he should do a cover.
Kanye.
All right. Yep, both correct. That was Bound 2 by Kanye. Do you remember that one?
I can't say. Was it off Graduation album?
No, it's a really weird one. You know when he was on the music video when he was on the bike with Kim?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up though because it
The
sounds
tune,
quite
man.
different.
It's a really good song. Okay, final one. This could be the decider. And I think this is quite an incredible lyric. Sometimes I'm wishing that my dick had a GoPro, so I could play that shit back in slow motion. I just shot an amateur video. I think I should GoPro. Can you appreciate that? How incredible!
It's definitely a good use of the words GoPro.
Yep. Used in 2 ways though.
I think again, I definitely haven't even heard
Kanye.
this.
Kanye.
Is that a yay?
No, it's a nay.
That's a nay. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah,
I don't know.
wild guess.
Okay. You're a clear winner, Ben.
Fuck.
You stolen it. 2 points. That was Highlights by Kanye.
When was that? Is that like a newer one?
Yeah, that was Life of Pablo.
Okay.
Great album. I mean, I didn't realise that was a lyric. I was just listening to the beats.
Because I'm not much of a lyric kind of person. I'm more always listening to the tune. And then
Yeah.
when you actually do listen to some of these lyrics, you're like, hold up a minute.
This guy's fucked up. He's sticking a GoPro on his dick.
Just loving this beat, and then fuck, you listen, you're like, shit, actually, I need to be careful when I listen to this.
Ain't that mad? Like, I mean,
Hey, little 12-year-old, have I got a song for you?
well, thank you both for playing. Was that a good quiz?
I am inadequately knowledge to judge the level of your quiz.
You know, for the other ones, I literally just typed in stupid hip hop lyrics.
Wait, wasn't there only like one that was not Kanye?
Two non-Kanyes. Yeah. All right, there we go. Thank you for playing. Hope you enjoyed. And if you
It's
invited
the first
me.
quiz I think I've ever won.
yeah,
Because
okay.
pub quizzes, I always come like last.
Well, we might have had some listeners playing along at home with their families.
With their families.
It's a
It's
family-friendly
lovely.
game.
Family lyrics.
So if you let us know your scores, that'd be.
Yeah, did you beat Ben?
Should we wrap this bad boy up?
I think that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point too.
Okay. Then we must progress over into the first corner of the triangular-shaped room in the underground bunker in the middle of nowhere, Switzerland, for a Ryan wedding update.
He's getting married. He's getting married. Ryan's getting married. Hey, Ryan! Give us a wedding update. Ryan's getting married and he's gonna give us a wedding update.
Give us a wedding update.
Okay, so I guess my wedding update this week is the reason why I was 10 minutes late tonight, guys. 10 minutes late. I am a punctual man, and 10 minutes is astonishing in my level. So I basically had to go on a journey, right? Because there was not a cash machine in sight that would work for me. So I could purchase the thing that I needed to buy for the wedding update. And the thing that I needed to buy is in my wallet.
Oh my lord.
And it is the £100 that I owe Ben. So I have
Oh, this is weird.
I've in this moment just booked my my photo booth for my wedding.
Thanks. Quick question. Are you going to have Acum water at your wedding?
I am for you, Ben. I am for you.
I can
keep your
provide
money.
the Acum.
I'll just buy you a whole cucumber and you can slice off as big a chunks as you want.
Thank you very much.
Gonna find him midway through the night in the toilets. Just can't get enough of this
I can have the
cucumber.
cucumber. Oh, wow. Nice.
That's a very tidy wedding update.
Damn, got to do it in style.
That was stylish.
That's quite funny.
Nice. Right, the next thing we would traditionally do is go to the other corner of the triangulated room and go for a George relationship update. I could adapt the jingle to a Ben relationship update. Or,
Oh, okay.
Or have we got something else that we could ask him for an update on?
If you want to.
or what's a good thing to ask you for an update on?
Might be getting a van.
Let's head over to the corner for a Ben van update.
Boom! Play the jingle.
It's always so complicated. George, let's talk about it in a little relationship update. Relationship update. Relationship update. George, will end on a minor chord.
Yeah, so basically, I am looking at van options because I currently use my Twingo 2015 model. That's right, yeah. As basically a van anyway. Looking by all the scratches on the inside and the stuff that gets strapped to it quite regularly. So I thought maybe the time has come to say goodbye to Annabelle, the lovely Twingo that she is. And yeah, that's right, she's called Annabelle because I fucking hate the name Annabelle because of baby Annabelle. Remember that like weird doll that used to piss like on the TV advert?
I think my sister had one.
Yeah, like
It was like, why would you want a doll that can urinate
like,
everywhere?
Why?
This is the worst part of a baby.
Yeah,
Does real poo.
I had literally repressed that. I remember seeing the advert the first time on a holiday in Dorset.
yeah, it's quite specific about
What
it.
a holiday.
I feel like I want to go.
Get me one of them.
Do you want to go and urinate on Ben's car after this?
Please don't. So yeah, I
Through the
called-
gate or over the fence?
So yeah, she's called Annabelle just because for some reason that just stuck, even though I didn't like the name, but now it's associated with a car and not a pissing doll. So, but yeah, anyway, might get a van because I could do with one for the photo booth, basically. So yeah, models on the table. Citroen Berlingo, quite like the look of it at the minute. So it's just a case
Because vans aren't overly expensive, are they?
Oh no!
Like in terms of your basic van.
basic van, no. Well, the Twingo, that was about 10k brand new, and you know, it's like a low end car, but on the inside it's quite nice and stuff. And then when you think about a van, it's a bit more metal, maybe, but they're not particularly that good on the inside. But vans, I found, are quite pricey.
Okay.
Like a base model Berlingo, like a new model, is around about 15 grand without VAT.
Ouch.
So it is quite a hefty investment. So I'm looking at the second-hand market for my options there, but trying to get something which hasn't got 220,000 miles on the clock.
I guess you generally find, not genuinely, that people that are selling their vans have probably looked after them, though, because usually it's their livelihood.
Yeah. As long as you don't get like an ex-rental van.
Yeah.
In which case it's been driven to fuck.
Yeah, and not looked after.
This van's only been in 700 crashes.
Yeah. I actually rented a van a few weeks ago for a job I did. And I looked at one company because it was only going to be £25 to hire a van for the day, which was insane. But called them up and they couldn't sort me out, basically. So I went to a different company instead, and I actually had to clean the van. Like, the guy made it some shit excuse, like, it was taken out last minute over the weekend. And I was like, mate, this van hasn't been cleaned since it was, like, on the fleet, because I had to clean the inside of the windscreen just so I could see through the smog.
I've heard some, naming no names, I've heard some horror stories about people who work at, like, rental companies and they are just squeezing out vehicles without safety checks being done and a lot of it's cleaning and whatnot, and it's dude.
Yeah. Oh, this van it only had a kilometers per hour speedometer as well, which was not very useful.
No.
No.
Constantly doing quick maths.
Yeah, I did actually have to
1.6 kilometers per mile.
I actually had to write on a post-it note and bloody gaffer tape it to the dash what like the main speed limits were in kilometers. Because
I'm doing 70 on the motorway and everyone's overtaking me. I'm so confused.
Yeah, so that was a bit weird. Like, because it was a right-hand drive van, so like I don't know.
So it was a UK layout, but in kilometers.
Yeah, which like what country drives on the right but uses kilometers and not miles? Like maybe it was just like a dodgy batch of vans.
I've never been to Ireland. Do they? Because they're technically Europe, which most of Europe use kilometers. But do they drive on the right hand side of the road?
Probably because Northern Ireland would, wouldn't they?
Just wondering whether it could be that. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Just a theory.
I don't know.
Research update.
But then maybe because it's like there's no. Well, let's not get into Brexit, but like there's no like particular border, is there, between Northern and like Ireland, is there? So like maybe it's all standardised to what the rest of the UK is. But then maybe it's not.
Don't know.
That's add it to the research list.
Yep. That sounds good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just a quick one.
Yeah.
What colour van?
Not a white van, because then you're a white van geezer. But I quite like the dark looking sort of kind of metallic-y, dark grey kind of colours.
Yeah.
But trying to find one of them secondhand is probably going to be quite rare.
Yeah.
So maybe like a red. Makes it go faster.
An old Royal Mail van.
Yeah. where the logo's actually been peeled off, but you can still see the fade.
Maybe the rest of the van's pink. Except for where the logo was.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Van update. Potentially.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Might be getting a van.
Okay, well,
There we go.
I guess we should.
I
we should head over to the third corner of the OMPC bunker, and head over for a Miles band update.
Play a jiggle here.
I'm going to leave them in.
Oh no, don't leave that in. It's too high pitched. Play the motherfucking jiggle.
I haven't really got much of an update, but I do. It's a personal one. Other day, in the shower, right, cleaning my hair, washing my hair. Don't know if you guys have this. Sometimes you do it and you go, I swear I'm getting less hair to wash here. And I think it's just part of being a guy in your 20s, maybe. You know? In the shower, I composed a chorus for a song. And earlier on today, I was doing a poo. I wrote a few verses. I'm writing a song about balding.
Balding.
Yeah. The chorus is going to be something along the lines of,
Whoa. Do you want to release the chorus now, or do you just want to give the full song in the weeks to come? I'm not objecting to either. I'm just giving you the option.
okay, well, I think the chorus is going to be catchy, so if I speak it, I think the gold is going to be in the verses, but the chorus I've got so far, it's work in progress, but it's going to be something along the lines of, you take a little from the side. No, you take a little from the back and a little from the sack, and you put it all back up on top. Da 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 da. I'm climbing up Widow's Peak, and I ain't never coming back. It's gold.
I like it.
It's a work in progress. I'm not gonna. I've got a really good melody in my head.
For some strange reason, I've got an image of like butt hair and pubic hair on your head.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. You know, it's like all these weird things that you can do to take hair. You can like bring back hair growth on top, can't you?
I think traditionally they take it from bits of your head which have still got hair.
Yeah, you take it from the back, don't you? I think.
Don't know. I'm not 100% sure. In my head, they were taking it from like your back, but I feel like that's wrong.
Oh, hold the fuck down, and I've got this really wrong then, because you said in your lyrics, take a little from the back and a little from the sack.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I interpreted that all wrong because I was like, back what? And I thought you meant as in like.
No, take a little from the back of your head.
Yeah, all right.
And a little bit from your
nether regions.
your scrotum.
Okay. Well, when you said back and sack, I thought you meant like the same area but just on opposite sides.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why I was slightly weirded out by the back bit.
Okay. So there's a bit of an issue in the lyric there.
Maybe it's just my interpretation of it.
I think it's just like trying to get things to rhyme. Mm-hmm. But maybe I could put in like a bit of a bracketed thing there.
It's all right. Just go full rap. It doesn't need to rhyme them. You don't need to be a poet. You can get a groper, mate.
And that concludes my update. I'll do a live premiere at some point when I've got it finished. But,
Lovely.
It sounds like the bathroom's quite a creative environment for you.
yes, it is. Yeah, it's more just a panic station as I feel like my hair is going away.
It still looks great, don't worry.
I can see you both sort of going.
Is it there? Is
Oh,
it going?
hey.
Yeah.
I'll
Have you
take
not
a
just had a haircut?
I think
I have.
I think I can see the top of his head now. I think that's probably why you feel like you've got less hair. You cut it off.
I have had a considerable haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be why then, because whenever I get a haircut, because I'm like lazy and leave it about 6 months each time, it's like shit. I feel like a new man because you've got no hair.
Tricky, isn't it?
Mm.
But it's nice to feel the fresh air.
Yeah, and having a good haircut does make a difference.
Yeah.
I feel this has been a good update from all of us.
Great band update.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quickly though, on the subject of haircuts and going back to Ryan's wedding update, haircut on the morning of the wedding, yay or nay?
Oh, big question.
It is too early to decide such a matter.
Okay, cool.
I think it's simple as that.
Have you thought about it then?
I don't like my hair straight out of the barber's. I like it like a few days after.
Worn in.
Yeah, so it's kind of still got a bit of ruggedy growth to it, but it's still quite tidy. So there'll probably be that for me.
That's cool. I'd say I'd agree because I think getting a haircut for me has always been a risky business, and doing it on such a day like that,
Don't like a fresh look.
you're playing silly buggers, mate.
Risky because if it goes wrong, there's no going back from it.
Yeah, and you've got no time to figure out what the fuck to do with it if it is wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Shave it off.
Yeah, cool.
We're going to have to go and spin the big wheel, see if we've got any listeners' questions. Now, you ready to spin the wheel, Ben?
Yep. Let me just get up.
Yeah. So,
Here we go.
I'll do the whooshing sound. You're doing the low clicks, are you? Or are you doing the whooshing sound?
I can't remember what I'm doing from week to week.
Okay, I'll do the whooshing. You do
Can we
low
just buy a
clicks.
wheel, please?
Yeah, we should just buy a wheel, like a glamorous
knock
wheel.
one up.
Yeah,
What noise do you want me to do?
like a high-pitched clicker.
Hold on, let me just like...
Yeah.
You
That was
just,
good.
you just stand off your chair and
That's a
we'll
bit like a
spin your
doll.
chair really fast.
Are you ready?
I'm never ready.
Okay, listener, we're going to spin the wheel. 3, 2, 1.
Ding ding ding.
We have a question.
Oh, we have a question.
George from Warwickshire has written in.
Hello, George from Warwickshire.
It's for you, Ben.
Oh.
Now, I hope you know what this means.
Right.
George from Warwickshire says, could you ask Ben about prime lenses, please?
Yes, George from Warwickshire, you can. A prime lens is a lens which has a fixed focal length, which basically, for those of you who don't know what that means, you can't zoom in or out unless you actually physically walk closer or walk further away.
True manual zoom.
It is true manual zoom, yeah.
Yeah.
They're quite good because on lenses, basically, there's always like a trade-off in terms of like how much you can zoom and how much of a shallow depth of field you can get, basically. So with zoom lenses, that trade-off is much greater. So with a prime lens, usually images are a lot sharper, a lot less distortion, and much better apertures, which would give you much better focus. No, what's it called? Soft focus. Bokeh is the Japanese word for it. Soft, not soft focus, but the bit which is out of focus.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So there we go. Prime lenses. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. That does sound pretty cool.
So if you can, prime lens over
A zoom lens.
zoomy.
Yeah, like back in the day, like when you're on your film cameras, prime lenses were a lot more sort of what would be normal. 35mm is kind of like a typical walk around lens, you'd call it, to do a bit of everything. Maybe a 90mm for a good headshot lens. So it's like you'd have to stand quite far back, but it makes the face look quite nice because it's minimal distortion. But with the improvements in like glass technology, there's sort of like a set of standard zoom lenses now, which most professionals would use. But if you haven't got to do like a sort of lot of different stuff with one lens all day, then if you can whack on a prime, it's probably a nice thing to do. So yeah, is George from Warwickshire thinking of getting a prime lens?
I don't know.
No, well, George from Warwickshire, right in, let us know.
Fantastic.
Very good. Right. Let's have some shout outs.
Okay.
You got a shout out, Ben?
Come back to me in a few minutes.
Ronnie got a shout out?
I do have a shout out actually, and it's actually to Beth.
Okay.
I'm gonna give my shout out to Beth. So she's gone out and she's got herself a new job.
Amazing.
Yeah. So she starts in a couple of weeks, and yeah, I'm just super proud of her. I guess.
That's
so
cool.
Shout out to Beth.
Shout out.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Yes. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
she wasn't even looking for a job in the end, so essentially she's been headhunted, and so she wasn't expecting it. She wasn't really ready for a new job, but going and seeing this new job has essentially made her realise some of the bad aspects of the current job that she's in.
Yeah.
So it's pushed her to go for it.
That's wicked to get headhunted. What a rare situation.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
That's a gift, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got like room to improve and go up the grades of her work. So yeah, shout out to Beth.
Shout out. Nice. You got one yet, Ben?
I'm trying to wrap my brain, and whenever someone asks me a question, I don't really know the answer off the top of my head.
All right. Okay,
I'm
go.
I'm not good, so yeah.
I'll buy you a minute.
You go. Oh, thanks.
Shout out to the gardener at work for the weirdest run-in I've had this week.
Wait, he was literally running, or you had a run in with him?
I had a run-in with him,
Okay,
right?
got you.
Geezer's there every month or so, right? Just a bit of a landscape job. You know, kind of like a rural sort of place.
He gets the lawnmower out.
He gets the lawnmower out, does some hedge trimming, all the sort of landscapey things. Really nice guy. And I parked on the grass and he said, can't mow that grass unless you move a car. So I was like, yeah, sure, I can move my car. So I was going outside and, he just said, congestion charges in Birmingham, bit of a tricky issue. I've got a slightly older van. Oh, yeah. And we were just having a bit of a chat about it and saying, and he was pretty anti-government. We were just talking and he was saying, I'm actually, I live mostly off solar power and all this. It was like, wow, pretty cool. And I was like, that's, and out of nowhere, in relation to the government putting on congestion charges, he goes, of course, the government are hiding things from us. You heard about the Roswell incident? They're keeping alien technology from us. And I laughed, and he wasn't laughing.
Oh, God.
I promptly moved my car and went back to work. But shout out for a very strange run-in.
Have you looked up this incident he talks about?
Turns out his hop-on lawnmower is also a UFO.
Yeah.
Powered by solar.
Shout out, Ben.
All right, a bit of a random one. But
We like random here. It's fine.
yeah, it's kind of on a vehicle basis again. But shout out to the garage where I took my car to get wheel aligned, and they didn't charge me because there was nothing wrong.
That's not dissimilar from a shout I had 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, and just it's cool because like I'm a bit of a strange person. Like I try and be consistent with where I take the car to the garage, but was let down by one garage after I thought that would be my consistent garage. So tried a different garage and they couldn't do the wheel alignment, so they recommended to another guy, and he could. And he was like, "Don't worry, mate. There's nothing wrong." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Right, let's go settle up." And he was like, "No, don't worry about it." And I was like, "You what?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And I was like, "Serious?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Wow." Amazing respect, because it shows that like there's some garages out there who are like cool, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's nice to find a garage that only wants paying when they've actually done some like proper work, I guess.
Yeah.
For them to just essentially stick a device on each wheel and go, "Yeah, your wheels are good." It's not a lot of effort.
No.
And it's one of those things that makes you go, I'm going to take my car back to them because he was a nice guy.
Yeah, defo, 100%.
You know, it wins them business by just being nice.
In the long term.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So shout out to both garages, because both garages are really good, but particularly that guy for not charging.
Do you want to give a name? You don't have to.
No, I feel like a dick if I don't though.
Go
No.
to squarespace.com/that garage.
That garage to
For a
claim
20%
your
discount.
10% discount now. Yeah, Squarespace, come on, hit up.
Yep. Free wheel alignment check. Only if there's nothing wrong.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've had a lot of public service announcements on this one. A lot of
We'd like to inform the public of
Of things such
Yeah.
as Teletubbies and
a lot of wisdom, and I
Yeah.
think we're going to bring more wisdom with Angel of the Light in the next episode.
I mean, what time is it? Is the shop still open?
get it on Deliveroo, mate.
Someone's missing a trick there, actually.
Angel
Delivery Angel Delight. It needs to be done.
Someone's missing a pudding as well.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
well,
been a great podcast, and it's been a pleasure having you here.
yeah,
Ben.
thanks for joining us,
Well,
man.
thank you for having me on. It's
Have you
been
enjoyed
nice.
it?
Yeah, it's been good fun. I've been listening to all the other episodes, and it's kind of nice to be here and be involved. So hopefully it's been alright for you guys as well.
It's been
I
fantastic.
mean, it would have been nice if George was here as well, but
I
Let's
just
hope
I don't
he's
know if he
better.
likes you. I think that,
Wow.
it's-
Yeah.
that's just tricky.
Maybe you just knew that like microphone stands were going to break, and it was just like not worth the hassle.
There's only 3 microphones in the room. It's- No, well, brilliant. Well, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
and thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and catch you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
So yeah.
Bye.